Welcome in, everybody. Look, happy Sunday to you. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today on Tia Niki, we are having the replay of the interview with Cartess and I. You know, it's been a long time coming and it's here. So buckle up for the ride. The interview is a bit long, but I tell you, there are nuggets of information in there that cannot be missed. Also, before we go to that, we're going to go to this. My tried and my true. Thank you so much, my tried and true, for rolling with us, sister. Thank you so much to my new subscribers. You know, this is what it's all about. Each one teach one and reaching out to different. I noticed something that I am reaching all demographics. I'm reaching the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s. And I like it. Also want to give a shout out to Ralph. Thank you so much for the donation. Lola, thank you for the donation. And also, Indalisha, I believe is the name, beautiful name. Thank you so much for the donation. All of y'all that donate, it goes to making my equipment better. I'm telling y'all done seen I've been able to get out there to the market and things like that. There is so much more of that coming. So with that being said, let's get into this interview. You all enjoy your Sunday.
Baltimore, Maryland, Tracy from New Jersey, Cassandra here in Concal rocking the spot tonight. I just moved to Concal a few months ago, 2 months ago, and I'm loving it out here. Nanette from Jalisco, Mexico. So we have some folks here that are from Mexico. Celeste from Ohio, Evancia from Playa del Carmen, lots of Mexico folks. Alicia, North Carolina. How you doing, Alicia? Tam from California, Lydia from Philly, Tanya from Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi, my birthplace. Mound Bayou, Greenville, Chandra Shaw. I've been living in Greenville for some years. If I was crazy enough to move back to the States, it would be to Greenville. That's where I would go back. Don from Richmond, Virginia. Karen, South Carolina. Jerome, Raleigh. Welcome, everybody. We are glad to have you on. We're going to wait a few more minutes to give folks time to get in. And I see you got your hand up, Darla. You have something? Go ahead if you have a question. That way I can make sure I can hear properly. You have to hit the unmute button.
No, I don't have anything. I'm just trying to familiarize myself with this out there.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Wherever you join, just join and get this.
All right, we're gonna wait a few more minutes. It's 7:30 right now. We're gonna wait a few more minutes to let folks get in. I'm gonna go back and play with these settings to see how I can allow people to automatically log in. Let's see here. For those of y'all that are just logging in, we're just waiting a few more minutes to allow people to get in, and then we'll get started. And can you hear me, Nikki? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Perfect. All righty. So we're gonna give it about 3 more minutes and we'll get started. Y'all might see me run from the screen from time to time. Been drinking a lot of water, so I might be, while you're talking to Nikki, I'll be running off to the bathroom somewhere. So don't pay me no mind.
I have it on mute.
All righty. 50 people on so far. And there's a chat box. You'll be able to type questions in there. I might miss them, but as we move forward, after we have the initial introduction piece, if you have a question, you'll see a little icon in the bottom of the screen that looks like a hand. And from there, you can click that. It'll throw you into the queue, and then we'll call on you. Are many of y'all, are a lot of y'all hearing an echo from me? If so, I might have to mute some things. Someone posted they hearing a lot of echo from me. Minor, okay. All right, when we start, I'll mute everybody and hopefully that'll help. All right, so I just muted everybody. Are y'all still hearing that echo? Is that helping out a little bit? Still a little echo, hear anything, everything sound good? Okay, all right. Perfect. All right, 2 more minutes. I know I keep stretching this out. Because oftentimes somebody will come in and then they'll ask the same question that was asked, that was answered a few minutes earlier. So just keep in mind, this is going to be recorded as well. If that is an issue, I think there's an option here to turn off the video so your face doesn't show, and then it will allow you to put a photo up in place. I know some people are nervous about family members seeing them online talking about they moving to Mexico, and it starts all kinds of problems. So, so that you go ahead and close out the video portion so you're not seen and there's no evidence left behind. All right, y'all Uber here. All right, if y'all need anything, call your mama. I can't help you because I'm on here.
Be careful, y'all.
You letting them know. They like to call me. Y'all got the card. All right. 45 more seconds. We
Tell them to call Tyrone, Cartess.
You know what I'm saying? They need to call somebody, you know what I mean? Tyrone work. One thing pretty soon, I'm gonna go get a towel and start. All right, so let me hit the record button and we're gonna get this party started. You ready to go, Nikki?
I'm ready.
Awesome. Record meeting. All right, I think it says we
Thank you, Greta.
are going. Welcome, Nikki. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Cartess. I'm doing awesome.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Move to Thrive, our VIP meetup. We do these a couple of times a month. Try to, at least.
Thank you, Jerome.
And today we have Miss Tia Niki of Tia Niki in Merida. It's been a while since we talked. We had a little chat.
It has been a long time. You know, we were on a roll for a while. We were getting. I'm trying to get my screen view straight.
Okay.
So okay. Yeah, we were hitting it like what every few months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it got busy, and so many people started coming. You got busy, and life started turning, and it's been what, like 9 months?
It's been about that long, you know what I
8, 9
mean?
months.
I'm like, Niki done got a life now. She's out here in these streets doing her own thing, and I'm just out here all alone, just trying to get by.
You doing big things, man. You got your new place. You know what I'm saying? You balling now. You came off them Matter streets. Used to be out there in the Matter streets. Now you rolling in the Matter streets.
Man, and you know what? And that cost me to put on 20 more pounds. I'm 20 pounds heavier since I stopped walking these streets. As I was just talking to the kids yesterday, I'm like, I'm about to get back to the basics and start walking back down these streets, making these videos, because this car has come at a cost.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like you can, canvas more. You can get out and walk and kind of go deeper into the neighborhoods that you used to go through, you know?
True.
But you have done your due. You have done your due, Cartess. There's so many videos. I think you've been through 95% of these colonials around here.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You got a volume button. You kind of low.
Am I low?
It might be just me. A little bit low. Maybe you can boost it a little bit.
I can boost
it might be just me.
Let's see.
That's right. He sure has put in the work. The mayor of Merida, Cartess. The mayor of Merida.
I wish. I'm playing with these settings just to make sure noise cancellation pushed to.
You got your max volume up. I got mine.
Says I do.
Okay. All right.
I'll talk a little louder. Are y'all able to hear me well? Do I need to talk louder?
Else. It could be just me and my little bitty speakers.
Okay. All right.
We got a thumb up from Marcel. Okay.
All right. So what's been going on? I know, man, you look fabulous. You don't even look the same. You know what I mean? Not that you looked bad before, but it's like a whole nother person now. You know what I mean? You look less stressed. I mean, you just look fabulous. You know.
Thank you, Cartess. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I hear your mom is off of many of her medications. Yeah, give us the update. What's been going on? How's life been treating you and your mom?
You know, I will tell you, Cartess, it feels like we've been here a lifetime. I'm trying to tell you we've adapted easily. I'm chilly tonight. I was laying on the couch and I got a little chilly tonight. And I think the biggest thing is I allowed my experience in Merida to just kind of overtake me and let some things go.
Okay.
So I found that a lot of people are here, but they're not here. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm at least 95% or 90% living in the now, living in Merida. So there've been so many transitions. We moved from the first house, from the first video that we did back in those days when we were looking for a place to live. We moved from that house and we moved over to, actually, I'm on your side of town. We moved more southeast. Definitely a different experience. I made a lot of comments on my YouTube channel now that I have, thanks to you, and the request of the people about my experience over here. And I will say that there are less people, it's less crowded, and it's quieter on this side of town. However, we got 3 more rental payments and we about to get back at it, bro. I'm gonna need you again because I gotta go.
Wow, has it been that long? You've been there?
It has been that long. I got 3 more rental payments and it'll be a year that I've been here. Isn't that something?
Wow.
We just moved, right? I know.
I feel like you just moved, literally.
We just did it. We just moved. Yep. So it's time and I'm counting down. So this house is really nice, but it has a lot of structural issues. And the owner is like not anywhere near here. They live in like Tabasco or something. So it's covered by a rental company, which is different from what we did before with the owner. We dealt with the owner before versus a company. So this has been a different type of experience. I'm able to weigh both. I would definitely say to viewers I don't feel that there's one is better than the other. I would say go with what your gut tells you, go with what you like. But as I'm experiencing Merida and living in these different parts of town, different colonials and stuff, there's a major difference. Like when you were walking them streets, man, and you were like, look at how it is over here. And it is so that. It is so that. Now I'm over here by the E-tram. So I want to stay in this area because, you know, Merida, I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Merida in 5 years from now is going to look quite different than it does today.
Oh, yeah. Totally. I mean, they're starting to show, just got an article I saw today that now saying Merida is the most expensive city in Mexico. You know what I mean? And they're upgrading and they're changing that, and they're giving more benefits to the police department to continue the safety trend that they've been able to have here this entire time. So yeah, the landscape ain't gonna be nowhere near the same 5 years.
Completely different. And then all the construction is going on. This sky building that they building now will be the tallest building in Merida. It's reaching the clouds. You seen how high? I say, when they gonna stop? But it's just higher and higher. So as I'm living here, you know, it's funny to be here. I won't say at ground zero because you were here a year before, you know, a year and a half, I think, before I was. So you've been able to see how the city has grown. I think that's the most magnificent part of being here in this particular time.
Yeah.
Seeing this city grow, seeing this construction, seeing the people come in droves. They are not playing at all. And never even really thought about, you know, they tell you it's always in your backyard. What you're looking for is always in your backyard. You don't have to look very far. And people are discovering, all people, all ages, races, genders, are discovering the accessibility of Mexico. Not just Merida, but Mexico, and the fact that you can drive here and get away from the USBS, right?
Absolutely.
So my experience has become bigger than myself. When I first came here, it was about me and what I wanted and what I was going to do or what I thought I was going to do. The universe had what they say, we make plans and God laughs. So,
absolutely.
Right. So I had a plan of just chilling, getting the stress off, decompressing, you know, coming here with a lot of toxicity and needing a lot of healing. That was my main focus. And I was able to do that. But more than that, I'm able to do it out loud and show other people, just like you're doing, how to do it. Because we always like leave. Okay, how do you do it?
Yeah.
So that's been a blessing to be able to do it and show other people how to do it, because it can absolutely be done.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. Let me ask you this: you made a great statement earlier. You like the area that you're in now. How drastically different is that area that you're in now compared to where you were when you first got here? Because like you said, all of these different neighborhoods have completely different personalities. What are the differences that you know, and why do you like it there now, that area that you're in compared to the other?
I would say completely different. You're talking about personalities, and that's exactly what it is. It holds a different type of energy, each neighborhood. And my old neighborhood was a little congested. The streets were tight. Going northwest is a more, populated area, more congested area. And I found that moving out this way actually is a relief. The streets are wider. The population is a little bit less dense. It's dense in the north. And then, because Central and the surrounding areas were, the foundation of Merida, right? So that's where the most people are. So moving out this way has been a relief as far as noise pollution, When I was in Chaburna, I had the buses coming through every 7 minutes, 6 days a week. Traffic, the flow of traffic is like nothing over here, comparatively speaking. And it's a little bit quieter with people noise. But I'll definitely say noise pollution is the biggest part. Even though I live in a pretty industrious area, over here, a lot of plants, cement plants and things like that. But oddly enough, I can't hear them. So I would say I was suffering a little bit in Chaburna with noise, making my videos and even sleeping, and mama too. So over here, we found great relief with peace. I think it's important to search for a neighborhood because some people like that rush that, going outside and the stores here and the people are here and it's all day night and blah, blah, blah. And the younger people specifically, I think is grateful. But as we get older, we kind of, we want that peace and quiet and, ability to have really good restful sleep. And that's what I found living on this side. Whereas we were on the north side, northeast, we're now on the southwest. And it's a huge difference even in the people over here. All of Merida, I would say the people are very warm. That's not an issue. But over here, definitely a little more space in between conversations. In Chaburna, it was like everybody was right here. So it's good morning, buenos tardes, buenos dias. The people across the street everybody knows one another. Here it seems to be a little bit more of a distance in that. However, I love it and I want to stay on this side.
Nice. And, we're up in Cocal, and we often find ourselves going to Shadrawi at the Macro Plaza in that area that you're at. We'll oftentimes sneak over there to get food. So we're pretty close. So that vibe, I do like
the
that
other
vibe.
side too. We were close on that side too when you were on the other side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I love it. And mom is doing great and well.
Mom is doing awesome. Mom's lost so much weight. She was a real, she gave me a lot of incentive to really get on my game as far as my weight was under control or out of control. I was doing a lot of snacking. So I told her she thought she was going to leave me in fat land, but that was not going to happen. So if you eating salads, we all eating salads. If you eating we all eating. So the house, it wasn't just myself or her to change. We collectively changed our diet. We stopped eating out as much. And then when we do eat our selective menu items, choosing something less. But the biggest thing was stopping the snacking. And I was doing too much with the chocolate. Because, if you want to eat, they got food for you, pastries and all kind of things that are just absolutely delicious. So I stopped doing that, the snacking, and then just narrowing it down to the one meal a day in the daytime. And then if I'm snacking, it's grapes, watermelon, fruit in the evening. So that's been my diet now for probably maybe about 3 or 4 months. And so a drastic difference. And also intermediate fasting. Taking a day or so and just not eating nothing, doing a cleansing, a fruit cleanse, vegetable day, no meat day, things like that throughout the week. And that has been significant because I'm finding as my business is picking up, I need the physical energy to keep up. And I'm getting older. And, I can't do nothing about getting older, but I can do something about my stability, my health, and, kind of loving myself more than the cheeseburger. Or having one every now and again. Hamburguesa.
Hamburguesa, absolutely. Man, my. But do you think this transition that you're experiencing and going through, you think that could have happened in the United States?
No, there's no way. I wouldn't even have the options to be able to maintain this type of diet. I often talk about being a vegan in the States, which is difficult as well because of the seeds. The seeds are GMO now. They attack from the root, right? So it's not even like you're able to form fresh vegetables because the seeds are GMO. So you're raising GMO crops. My body is is kind of sensitive to inflammation. So these type of GMO processed foods in the States, whether they be vegetables or whatever, just cause me major inflammation in the States. So I don't think it would be achievable, or on a very small scale. I don't think it would be a significant change. And I also think the other side effects that come with living in the States, like depression, isolation, PTSD, all of these mental diseases affect the physicality of the human body as well. So even if you're eating healthy, but you're depressed, or you're trying to maintain a healthy diet, but you're, suffering from some type of manic depression, bipolar, so many things that come along, it affects, it'll bring on the dis-ease anyway. The mind, right? The mind controlling the body and feeding the body as well. So consumption for healthy purposes isn't just about food. I think in the States, it's all levels. It's the food, it's the intake, the politics, the government, the way that it's run, the people, or the lack of care, consideration. The care is all of it. And it's heavy energy. It's too heavy. It's hard to fight through.
Man, I'm just still looking at you. It's like you're a whole other person.
I feel like a different person. Remember, I had to look. I was looking at the video when we went to the store to look at the furniture, and I was walking kind of slumped over in my back, and I was like, wow. And I never really went back to look until a few people were like, you should, I've been looking at your old videos and you should look at it. And so I went back and looked, and I was like, wow, it blew me away. Because I've been just forward, motion, forward movement. And that's been another blessing of Merida, is being able to stay in the now and not reminisce on all these bad things that have happened in the past. And, most people know about my battle with homelessness and coming from that, and me and Mama J and all of this stuff. And it's not a moment that I think about it. If I think about it, it's in gratitude of being where we are now. So Merida has definitely had a way of not only helping me with my physical health, but also with my mental health, my emotional, psychological issues and stuff, and time to just stop and think and not have to worry about bills and all the other stuff that come with living in the States, just traffic, simple things like that are triggering. They can be triggering.
Yeah, and that's what I meant a moment ago when I said you just seem like a totally different person, not just the physical, but also the mental. I mean, you speaking with so much clarity, just the whole package.
Thank you, Cartess. Oh, the brain fog was thick when I got here. I didn't know who I was, where I was. I just knew I was in a place where I could do better, but I had no mental clarity at all. At all.
Wow.
I was like a runaway slave. They call us Moses and Harriet, Cartess, and you parted the waters for me, and I thank you. And I came through to the other side. So I'm trying to get this underground railroad. People are coming through. You know what I'm saying? And when you're coming through, you just focused on escaping. That's it. I got to get away. Everything else is moot. I just got to go. And so that was my mode until I got here, and for a minute got to decompress and go through some things. Merida, and you've talked about this too, and did interviews with a lot of people that talk about the healing here and how it will make you, from you having the surgery, your family, people we know, from the physical healing all the way through. I mean, I would say the same thing for you, Cartess. You're completely different. Very calm, very focused, directed. You've been able to help me so much in my business. It's almost been 2 years, that I've been here, and almost 3 for you.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
It is. Do you mind sharing some of the projects that you're doing to help people make a transition here, or how the things that you're doing to help people escape, how you're helping them get their mind? Share some of the projects and stuff that you got going on, if that's okay.
All right. The first thing is that I'm an avid, and a lot of this comes from you, Cartess. You've been very instrumental. I mean, you know this. You've been very instrumental in your leadership. And I think the main thing is that people can really take away from all the stuff that we're going to talk about tonight is listening. Is great, but applying some of the things that you learn can take you to another level in life. If you just take it in, process it, and then apply it. So I thank you deeply for helping me to structure some things. You know, guys, Cartess, he helped me with my website. He helped me get my website up and running. He designed it for me. He gave me good prices. You know, he knew that I was in the process of becoming. And so he was able to aid me in a lot to get me started. And then what I particularly like about him is that he is hands-on and then he hands-off and let me find my way, right? He helped me build my foundation and then moved out the way. And I'm grateful to you, Cartess, because when I first came here, I held on to you very tightly. I didn't have nobody else. I didn't know nobody else. I was in a foreign land with my mama, and I was like, oh my God. And I held on to Cartess. I'm telling you, my handprint should have been in your shirt because I was holding. I was like, I'm hungry. What hell do I find? Why can I? And then after a while, I was able to release. And so because you gave that to me, it is only right. It's only right that I give that to other people because it saved my life.
Wow. Thank you, man. Thank you. You're going to have me tearing up. You almost had me tearing up in that taco spot down there in Central.
Oh, yeah. We had a moment. Me and Cartess be having moments. And you're going to have moments too when you get here. You'll have moments. I had a car moment the other night, Cartess. I ain't never missed my car. I've been here. I ain't thought about my car. I've been chauffeured around, enjoying myself. And I just had, oh my God. And I didn't miss driving her. I just missed her. You know what I mean? I just miss her being around. So anyway, I just want to push through that moment. So I'm thankful. So I have found, and which you have totally shown me, is that of course you can work from other people and be a digital nomad and work, you know, from home and get something international. However, you do have the ability and the skills to run your own business. People need it. People want it. People need services. People need direction. People need help. It's like, I want to come, but how? And this is some of the things, a lot of the things that you were open to teaching me through what you do on your website. Now you change your format over this time. However, you still have the courses, you still have the classes, and you told me to lean into that because it's something that can help people in real time. It's good to tell your story. However, give them some meat, give them some work to do so that they can have their own story. And that moved me so much. So now I'm offering, because people are like, I love your opening on your video. How do you do it? We want to know how you do it. So I do it through Canva. I'm offering, and we had a Canva class just last month on October the 19th and 26th. We had a two-parter, and I think I got a lot of people from my membership in here online with us today who were part of that class, and I thank them for being a participant. We were really good for a first class, had 15 people. So what I've done is I opened that up to a classroom. So on Google, you can have classrooms. So I have a Canva and content editing classroom that you can join yearly or for a lifetime for like cheap. And it's ongoing, where I share classes. We can join a Google Meet like this and do a class. And just the first two were wonderful. Replays are available. I also have a creative content group workbook to help you practice and work through some of this content stuff. And at the end of the day, if you don't have content to create for yourself, somebody can hire you. You know what I mean? If you know how to make this stuff, that's a way to make an income. Several streams, which is another thing you taught me, Cartess, is having various streams of income, not just one. So this is beneficial whether you are a business owner, like to do projects, like got a hobby, want to turn your side hustle into a main hustle, or if you want to perhaps, sell your skills, offer your skills for monetary value, because there's people out there that have businesses they can use you. They
Yeah.
can use you to, make some content for them. So the Canva classroom is there. It's open now, open enrollment. Is year round. Just have to play the catch up game. I always tell people like you do, Cartess, get in quick because the class I think holds about 50, and I got about maybe 15 in there now. 15 students.
Awesome. And your Cut the Cords program. What is that about?
Oh yeah, the Cut the Cord.
Getting that mindset right to make this transition is important.
Now Cartess, that was the first course. That's what you really helped guide me through. Of course, it's my content, but you helped me structure it. So, Cut the Cord course, a guide on how to leave the USBS is our Cartess. I done sold 45.
Wow.
45 people is cutting the cord.
Wow.
And that whole thing is about that inner work that needs to be done. Before you can even get to Cartess finding you a house, what about this house?
Yep. Amen.
What you doing right here? Thank you so much, Cheryl. What about this here? You know what I'm saying? So that's what that Cut the Cord course is about. It's about dealing with your fears. It's about self-worth. And I do monthly workshops on YouTube Live. We had an isolation course, a self-worth course. We work through a lot of the inner issues that are keeping people from having the courage to take the chance, to take the risk, and fighting through the fear, dealing with family members who tell you that Mexico is, a hot mess when 18 people got killed down the street from where they live today.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. The whole mall got shot where you live, but where we live is just horrible. Right?
Wow.
So how to deal with family members, how to be scared and do it anyway.
Yeah.
How to kick fear in the ass and do it anyway. So the course is 12 modules of how to take action, how to develop a plan, and more than anything, the first thing I said, take action, how to develop and actually execute your plan. So the Cut the Cord course is doing very well right now. It's a special on it too, with a consultation. So if anybody's interested, I'm always taking students, always offering courses and classes to help you all get here. That's what Cartess does. He's out here interviewing these people to let you know it is indeed possible. Not just me, not him, but look at all these other people who have not only landed, but landed softly and were able to create a whole new life that they love.
Wow. Y'all listen, I mean, at the core, I fundamentally believe that everybody has some knowledge or skill set, talent, know-how that can be packaged into a program that you could sell. And, I just believe that at the core. I just posted Niki's link to her website in the chat box. And for those of y'all that are on, we'll send an email out in the transcript from this call as well. You'll be able to get these resources. But yeah, check out her website, tianiki.com. And the programs that she spoke about here are on her website. But man, I have to say, man, I'm proud of you because
thank you, Candid.
Out of all the people I talk to and share this stuff with, you're the one who took the bull by the horn and you held on for dear life and you ran for it. Sometimes I on my wife sometimes. I'm like, you keep saying you want to do this and do that. I'm like, Niki doesn't hit the ground running and boom, no excuses. She's just on it. She's in it. And she's doing it. And like you say, the action, taking action is the most important thing. People like the idea of doing stuff, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to put in the time.
This is what I say all the time, Cartess, you got to do the work. Like hard work indeed does pay off. I think a lot of people look for that immediate gratification. They want that immediate, And unfortunately, this plane of existence just ain't like that. You got to put in the work over a certain amount of time. However, the payout can be more than you could ever imagine. In self gratification, in the fact that you help somebody, that you change somebody's life, that somebody saw something you did and it inspired them to do something too. And that's what Cartess has also done. I'm watching him doing the work, so I got to up my game. My goal is to make you proud, Cartess. I'm like, I want him to know that whatever he said, I was calling Cartess about this WordPress, y'all. I was like, I need to help with this. So, I said, I got to stop. And I went out and I took a course myself and learned how to do it. I sent him a message. I said, I done learned this thing.
That one blew me away. That blew my mind. I was like, damn. I was like, God, she got it. I like, she got it. She got it.
I was about to learn to put in the work, and it's been valuable because I'm able to add all of these courses and classes. And if I can, Cartess, just put another plug in here for my Adventurers Alliance membership. I have some people in here from the membership. Thank you guys for joining today. And this is part of it, being able to access lives that I may do with other creators. Just like you're part of Cartess membership platform, I have one as well. And so mine is a little bit different because the Canva classes are included. And also any type of anything that happens, any workshops, seminars, webinars. I got a couple coming up. I got the building boundaries, how to build fences and not walls, coming up in November on the 30th. Registration opens on the 10th. And then also, and Cartess is going to be a part of this. He don't know, but he just found out. He going to be a part of the Business Vendors Expo. I think I already asked him. So it's move abroad on a shoestring budget and build your wealth and health. So interviews with tips and tricks from industry leaders. And what I like about this, and we spoke about this too, Cartess, is the fixing the credit piece, learning how to fix your credit. We'll be talking about that, taking advantage of tax cuts, or if you have a business, how to get write-offs on your taxes, how to build a business if you need an LLC, a S Corp, Inc. We'll be doing that. Cartess is going to be part of it. I got another tax accountant. I don't know. Do you know Bernadette? I think her last name is Sanders. I can't remember her last name. Bernadette. It skips my mind. She's an accountant here. She has an accounting business. We're going to have her. And I got another young lady who has an art gallery here. And so she'll be speaking as well on opening her art gallery, how her experience has been. So we're having this Business Vendors Expo with people who have come here and done it. So you can see how it's done. So you'll know. No, the last video I did last week was no excuses. You just said it, Cartess. No excuses. We don't want you to have no excuses of why you can't. And not only come here, but go anywhere you need to go.
Wow.
The world is big. It's more than just the United States. Even Cartess has lived in Colombia, I believe, a certain amount of time. So I had a young lady that was here. She's moved on to Thailand. She was here for a couple of years, and she and her husband, they've gone on to Thailand. Wow. So another young lady is going on to Oaxaca. So Merida may be a stepping stone to another place. As long as it's outside, I'm an average. Just leave. Go somewhere. Just leave. Just leave. Leave. It's too many places you can go. It's too many things to take advantage of. I truly believe if you own your own business, it opens you up to be able to move anywhere. We talked about the digital nomads and how they have that little fine print that you got to stay there for a certain amount of time or fulfill a certain obligation to get the money. So get the program, or qualify for the program. You have to make a commitment. So these are some things that Cartess has been very vocal about in starting your own business, maintaining, and just using your skills and gifts to do whatever it is you do, turning the side hustle into a main hustle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I know these folks be waiting to have a chit chat with you. So
I'm loving it. You know, I'm ready for the questions. I'm ready for the questions.
yeah. So we're
I'm
gonna
ready for the
open it up
questions.
and let y'all fire away. So if y'all have any questions, want to talk to this Tia Niki
We got
directly,
70 souls in the house tonight,
70
Cartess.
souls, we rocking.
Rock it, baby.
So y'all hit that hand icon button at the bottom screen. It'll
Harris,
bring you
thank you
up.
so much, Tracy. Bernadette Harris, a B2B advisory accountant. She has an accounting firm here that she runs, and she has CEO groups and meetings, and she's doing it. Definitely
Okay.
somebody to keep your eye on.
Yeah, I'll definitely look her up. I'm gonna need some help
She
as
and
well.
Jenny Lynn LYND. She's the young lady that owns the art gallery. So she actually had I didn't get to make it, but she had a function yesterday. However, I'm gonna interview her on the channel and
Okay.
go out, and we're gonna go out on location and take a look at her art gallery, because she's looking for artists to come in and bring their intellectual
Okay.
properties, their paintings and
Okay.
stuff. Another opening for people if it's artists out there and you're looking for somewhere to sell your art.
That's nice. I love it. I love it. Okay, so Iris. Iris Cummings have a question. Unmute yourself and fire away. Iris, you got your hand up.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Great. So my question is, how are the tax implications since you're working, in Mexico, although you're not, well, you are a resident, what are the taxes that you have to pay? Like, like in the States, of course, every year we do the taxes. So I was just wondering how or who do you speak to when you have to do your taxes, or do you have to do the taxes on your income that you generate?
Sure. So my business is a U.S. based company. It's not a Mexico based company. All of the monies that are exchanged are USD money. I'm not exchanging any pesos. So there's no tax implications for my business because it's not a Mexico business. It's a United States business. All of my clients are coming from the United States. If I wanted to open up a business in Mexico, I do have an attorney for that. He's a Mexican business attorney. He can help you structure it. My girlfriend actually has her business in Canada, and she just opened up her business here. And it took quite a while. It was a frustrating process just because of the length of time. Because you got to send papers out to government authorities, and then they got to send them back for you to sign them, and then you got to send them back for them to be stamped or notarized. So it's a little bit of a back and forth, and the attorney talking to the government official from what I understand from her experience. Now, is it something that I want to do in the future? Absolutely, because I want to build here. I would love to have an Airbnb or a hotel. That's my big goal. Then there would be tax implications because I would be using pesos, and then I would have to pay the government. But right now, I'm not using government pesos. I'm still doing taxes through my tax attorney, and I will do a plug for Robert Daly in North Carolina, the best tax man on earth. And because I have a LLC and I have a federal ID tax number, and I'm a little legitimate business, I get to write off all this stuff at the end of the year that I'm doing. That's why I order my stuff from Amazon.com and not Amazon.mx, right? So I got that paper trail of everything coming through the United States. So just because I reside here doesn't mean that I'm doing business as a Mexico resident, which I am not yet. I will be in January. My time coming, Cartess. January, yeah, I already talked to Valeria. So January the 1st, I got my appointment. Or January the 2nd, 3rd, whatever that is, that day. And it'll be a wrap. Yeah.
Be legit.
Yeah, I'll be legit. I hope I answered the question, did I?
Yes, you did. But I was just wondering, like, what about, for instance, Cortez, this might be for you, Cortez. So you're in, I guess I'm just really trying to understand how do we still continue to pay US taxes, or will we be obligated to pay some Mexico taxes if we become residents? Because you're a resident, I know you got something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, from my understanding, and honestly, I hadn't looked really deep into it because, like Niki, much of my business is U.S. based. All the credit card transactions are being processed in the U.S. to U.S. banks, money's deposited in U.S. banks,
Stay out of the
et
peso
cetera,
market.
et cetera, et cetera.
Stay out of it.
So, I do hear that question a lot. We're having some scheduling conflicts with this attorney that I'm trying to get online. She will be able to better address that, but I do hear, a lot of folks have concerns about that. They are under the impression that they'll have to pay personal taxes if they're living here. So hopefully in the next 30 days, I'll get her on, and I would rather for her to address that, because what I'm going to say most likely is going to be the wrong thing.
Yeah, I do know, like we talked about, just make sure you keep everything US. Once you start dealing with pesos, that's where tax implications come in. And then to secure that, get your business license here in Mexico. And I do have a contact for that if you need a Cortez.
Okay.
If you want to do that on this side. And then of course, once you do that, you have to pay taxes here. And so I would assume that you would have to take taxes in both places if you're doing business in both places.
Yeah.
But like you said, we'll have attorney on, and that's going to be in the business vendors conference anyway. That expo, we'll be asking questions directly to tax people and on your show to address that directly.
Thank you. Bay Trey, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question. Bay Trey, if I'm saying that correctly, you should see an unmute button in the.
And Linda have Bay Trey and Linda.
Thank you. All right, I want to jump to Linda. Go ahead, and we'll come back to you, Bay Trey.
Good evening, everybody. So nice to join. I was trying to join Cartess's, but I kept having trouble. But I got into Niki, so I'm glad I'm on here. I just wanted to say I'm gonna be buying a property in Santa Clara, but I've never been to Mexico or Meridia yet. So I wanted to come down there as soon as possible and rent something for first time. So I'm interested in that.
Okay. Definitely. I mean, definitely, before you buy, I would certainly highly recommend that you at least rent a place for 6 to 12 months, just to make sure this is an area or a part of Mexico you want to stay in. It's very common for people to come out here and they buy, and 3-6 months later, they're out of here. And they tend to lose value. It's very difficult for them to sell their property because oftentimes they overpay and they're not able to get, they're not able to recoup their investment. So definitely come out here, investigate, get a lay of the land before making a big investment like that in both places, regardless of which city you come visit.
But Meridia, Yucatan is part of Santa Clara, right?
Santa Clara.
It's in Meridia, Yucatan.
Let me check.
I'm looking it up.
Now we have the Yucatan State, and we also have the Yucatan Peninsula. You said Santa Clara?
Yes.
I'm looking it up now. Where is this at? Hotel Santa Clara.
Marquis. It's supposed to be a resort. They're gonna make it like sort of like a resort, not a resort. It's another name for it.
Ah, okay, all right. I
I
see
see
that.
where it is. Yeah, I see where it's at.
I was down there near
Is that by
Santa
Uptown?
Crisanto.
Yeah.
It's actually on the beach. It's on the coast. Past
Oh,
Progresso, past Chichaloo, past Tail Check. So it's probably about an hour from here on the beach. Yeah, so that would fall in the Yucatan Peninsula. Definitely come check that out because that area probably is going to be extremely isolated and very rural with very limited options for grocery shopping and stuff like that. It all looks beautiful online, but is it a place that you would want to live due to the isolation? And for some people, that's totally fine because quite a few foreigners live in those areas. But for you, I would definitely say come check it out.
Okay. They said I could shop at Progresso.
You said they say what?
And I could shop in Progresso.
Yeah. Now that's because I just made that drive not long ago. That's probably about a 45 minutes drive
from our side.
Yeah, from that.
About 20 minutes from like Las Americas and over there.
Mm-hmm.
Just one more question. Those houses for $80,000 and it was $350 a month. Could those be rented out just without buying?
Yes. So many of those owners would be renting property in that area. I think that area was Los Angeles. But yes, there are many rentals available in that area. They'll probably range from the $350 to the $400 to $500 range.
Oh, that sounds good.
Absolutely. You have any other questions?
Cortez, I would say that anybody that's coming to live here to definitely come visit first.
Absolutely.
Don't buy nothing till you see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of in the pre-sale stage. They didn't build it yet.
Why.
That's the main reason.
See it.
Oh wow.
Just so you know what you're getting, you know what I mean? Just so you have an idea, like Cartess said, the neighborhood and if it's close to, shopping and all that stuff. Because Progresso does have a backside where it's kind of limited, isn't that right, Cartess?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's good to just see it.
Okay, so I want to make a trip soon. What about car rentals?
Yes. So there are quite a few people that rent cars. I'll post them in the chat. During the call, I'll post a couple of recommendations in the chat. And contact them. Rates vary based on the season. Right now we're in the busy season, so costs tend to be a little higher now, leading up to Christmas and until spring. And after about March, prices start to come back down. So, but I'll post some resources in the chat and just send them a message via WhatsApp, and they'll give you a quote.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm ready now, Cartess. This is Vaytre.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and sorry about that. That was my computer, like the internet. Just kind of crazy. But thank you for taking my message. So, Tia, I was gonna ask you about your mother, about how because I saw the videos where she was really, really happy to be there, packed her stuff, ready to go as soon as you were, letting her know. How does she feel right now? Like, does she feel like she did make the best decision? And does she also feel maybe she could have done it a little bit earlier? And also, is the healthcare for her, is that something she has to deal with on a regular basis? And how does it work for her? Is it something, where she feels happy about it? Are you all getting the doctors to come visit the home? Things like that. That's my question.
Sure. Thank you for your question. So my mama's doing absolutely fantastic, probably better than she's done in quite a while. It's amazing difference. She suffered a lot of depression in the States along with health issues. So her health issues have subsided. She's was on 6 high blood pressure medicine. She's on 2 every other day. We just made a trip to see the doctor to get her yearly exam. Came out wonderful, Dr. Rubio, which is a woman. And I'll give you the information for her. Cartess, I put in the chat. Absolutely wonderful doctor. She took her time with my mother. She's general practice. We went to Chopo, I believe it is, laboratories for her mammogram, sonogram, autograms. And then we went to another lab for her lab work, for her blood work. So all together with both of those and no appointment, just walk in, nobody was there, was $80 for a whole complete physical lab work, all the and we got the results that day, and they sent the results to the doctor. So they went through her blood work. She's doing fine. She was actually on one medication she did not need to be on. So she was taken off of that. And since then, even more of an improvement. Mama's almost 80. She is doing wonderful. The only other thing that I'll report on and do a video on as well is because she has 6 strokes in 5 years, she does have some neurological issues. So I do have a neurologist that I'll be going to visit and taking her to just so she can get her head looked at and make sure everything's cool there. But other than that, she's doing exceptionally well. Does she feel like she should have done it sooner? Well, we both believe in divine timing. We believe that it happened right on time. We've always been looking for somewhere to move to out of the States. We were looking at Canada, but it's too cold. And then my mom, when I was a baby, she traveled to Europe and she's been to Switzerland and Netherlands and all that. So she's already been well traveled. So she was just waiting on me, I think. She had a bag packed before I could get it out of my mouth good. Mama, it's ready time. I'm ready. So Mama's doing great. Of course, I think we appreciate the decision now. It came at a perfect time. And she's doing great. Thank you for asking about her. She's doing absolutely fantastic. I do know Cartess said something to me that lingers with me a lot. He said moving to Merida or moving out of the United States will extend your life. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I know it to be true for myself and for my mom. I believe that I'll have my mother much longer being here because not only does she have physical vitality, she has mental vitality. She's like, she wouldn't go near the computer in the States. Now she's all on her phone, on a computer, learn how to block people, spam people. I said, Mom, what you, I'm blocking them. So Merida has been good for her mental clarity as well as mine. So I've seen amazing changes in her. Since we moved here, she's doing so much better. I was worried about her in the States.
Awesome, awesome. Any other questions?
Oh, I did have another question, and thank you so much. And I'm so happy for you and your mother. Last question, you're welcome. The last question was, do you think that at any point, or have you even thought about this, doing tours for people that may want to come down that really, I don't know the area. I've never been to Merida. But do you think that could be something in the future where you could add that, where we can kind of get a tour of the town when we come?
That is so cool. I'm so glad you asked that question, Rachel, because I do. I have Tia's travel packages. They're on my website. Tia's travel packages, and I will come get you from the airport. I'll take you to the airport. I'll take you around the city. I have a scouting part of the trip. It's a whole package. I have a couple of people on the call that have signed up for it. They'll be here next week, and I'll be giving them all this Merida love. So check out my travel packages. They have everything that's included, one-on-one consultation. We go out. I got a sunset rooftop dinner cocktail honey set where we can go watch the sunset on the rooftop. It's a little cooler these days, so you might need a little jacket, but it's an unforgettable experience. And there's several places to go. I like the Skyline place. It has a 360 rooftop where you can see Merida from all sides.
That's amazing.
So that's part of the package. Check out the packages. Everybody, if you're interested in coming and you want a soft landing, somebody to meet you. I know Cartess does that a lot with people who are coming to buy or coming to rent, to move here. But if you're just coming to visit and you want somebody to take you around, go get package. I'll hook you up.
Okay.
And you get a t-shirt. You get a free t-shirt. A
Thank
Welcome
you.
to Merida t-shirt. Or a
That
Black
sounds
Girl
good.
Travel t-shirt. Or a
Thank you.
journal. Whatever you need. I'm here for it. Here to serve.
Yeah, that last question, I'm sorry, but this last question, everybody, I'm sorry, is the weather. People always talk about how hot it is and it gets that way. You've been there for 2 years. What do you feel about the weather that change, like from, I don't know which months they are, but do you have any issues with that? Do you feel like it's just too much or what?
You know, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's hot. That's
Hot
just
as
what it is.
hell.
It's just what it is. It's the nature of the beast, baby. It's flaming hot. But I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
It's only hot, what, like 6 months? It's half and half. So 6 months is hot and 6 months is beautiful.
Okay.
So right now, we don't need AC. I don't need any AC. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. The humidity is very low. So these are the months that we live for. You know what I mean? It's like I'm coming from DC, Maryland. So it's just like I got to deal with the snow, you know what I mean, for these 3 months, but it'll be over. And then spring will come. And then summer. So it's a kinship to that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that I got to deal with this heat for 5 months, 5.5, 6 months at best. But for 6 months, I get beautiful, I mean, absolutely beautiful weather. It's gorgeous. And it's going to continue to get cooler. I've adapted. So now I told Cartess I went to Soriana to the grocery store. I had on 3 t-shirts and it was 78 degrees. I was freezing.
I was cold yesterday, the day before.
It was freezing, right? I got on my socks. I got on my thick socks.
Wow.
So okay, so the thing with these melanated people on this call, we tropical beings anyway. So your body will revert. It's going to go back. It's going to adapt to the tropical environment, the warmth, a lot. And then a lot of people move. They can't take it. So they go further, go north. Mexico City, I had a girlfriend move there. Oaxaca, other places. Oaxaca's high is like 85. It's gorgeous. And it has mountains. So you would give up the beach for mountains. It's on the Pacific side of the ocean. So it's a whole different vibe on that side of Mexico. But Merida is hot, period. It's hot, it's wet, but it clear up your skin. You're gonna have clear skin. You're gonna lose weight and you're gonna drink a lot of water.
Okay.
So that's the benefits.
Awesome. Thanks, BJ. And yeah, so they tell you it's hot. Believe them. They ain't exaggerating. It's hot as hell.
It's hot. We on the equator, man. It's hot. It's like stepping on the sun. It's hot.
Exactly.
But you just don't go out in it. You know what I mean? You just stay in and stay hydrated. Be like Cartess and get a house with a bunch of solar panels so you can run your AC all day. That's my next goal, Cartess. You have lifted my soul, my spirit. I'm serious. This next place, I don't care if I got to start off with 5.
Yeah, just have some.
I need something. Because this electric bill, which is another part of it, the heat does affect your electric bill. Yes. And you know, it can CFE ain't no joke. CFE want that money. They gonna charge you. Yeah.
People
underestimate air conditioning on. Yes, sir.
Yeah, people underestimate how much electricity costs here. It's expensive. And you know, when you first move here, you're trying to adjust. And you want to have that air conditioning on. And, you know, there was another young lady I interviewed a few months ago when she got her first bill. The whole neighborhood was talking about it. They were like, you had the most expensive bill in the whole neighborhood. They were shocked. It was like $600 US, 12,000 some pesos. And when I got my 12,000 peso bill and I was, you know, 2 months out for my lease ending, I'm like, oh, hell no. And I only had 2 air conditioning units in our house, you know, so I was going to be moving into a larger place that had 3 or 4 bedrooms, which means, man, that could potentially turn into 20,000 pesos a month. So I was like, I can't. I'll increase my budget, find a place with solar. That way I won't have to worry about it. And we got our first bill.
How much was it, Cartess?
The other day, let me see if I think I got it.
I want to know because my girlfriend got solar panels. Hers was 52 pesos. That's like $3.
Let me pull this thing up.
Oh, I want to know.
I don't know if you can see this. Let me see.
76 peso.
76
you gotta be
peso.
kidding me.
And we got 6 units in here that be running 24 hours a day practically. 76 pesos is like $4. That's just really
If
the
that.
taxes.
Yeah, like 3. Yeah.
And that's for
I'm
2
telling
months.
y'all,
2 months of service. 2 months of electricity.
It's every 2 months. It's every 2 months.
You know
That's
what I mean?
and then who was talking about buying a house? That's what's important. See, you got to know this stuff when you buy this house and got $13,000, 13,000 peso light bill. That's the same as the mortgage or whatever. See, my electric bill, now it's just me and mama, right? I got a big unit in here. I never run it downstairs. I run the one upstairs. It's a small unit. Also, make sure that your units have inverters on them. Mama got one in her casita. We only got 2. We don't run them at all in the daytime. We run them at night. We do fans in the daytime. And my bill was still 6,000 pesos. Explain to me.
Yeah.
So they got the evaluator coming out here. They can evaluate all they want to because they getting these 3 rental payments and I'm out. They can keep all of it. They can keep this. This is the thing. Like, that's what y'all need to understand. When y'all move here, y'all gonna have a starter home. You don't know where you are. You're in a different city and a different country with different things going on, and you will get a light bill or something that water ain't never an issue. And they, well, I was gonna say they'll never turn it off, but sometimes they kind of do. But it'd be like a year later though.
Exactly. Yeah.
So water you ain't got to worry about, and gas is the what you call them, the tanks.
Yeah.
So they just bring a tank, and when you need more gas. So the main thing is electricity, and you don't want to move nowhere where you got a 13,000. And Cartess was that a 2-bedroom? 13,000.
Yeah.
No.
With just 2 units because we didn't have an air conditioning unit downstairs because I made the foolish decision to move into a house because I did it at the end of November. So it was super cool. It was hot, it was cold, it was cool. And I'm sitting in the house in the middle of the day looking at it at 2 o'clock. And I'm like, we don't need no air conditioner. Let me go ahead and sign this lease for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And then the spring came 4 months later, and we down there just smoking up in the house, just roasting. And I'm like, it didn't work out. You know what I mean? It was like, nah, this ain't gonna work.
But how could you know? You know what I'm saying? There's no way to possibly know, man. I'm telling you, you got to move in these places and then you find out. And after you're here for a while, you know exactly what to look for, what you're not going to deal with. I'm telling you, if I got to buy 2 solar panels and stick them on the window, that's what I'm going to do. Because I'm not doing this. I'm not doing 6,000. Yeah. And comparatively speaking, I was talking to a client and they were like, that's good because that's roughly like $150 every month for 2 months. Yeah. And they like, we paying $300 a month. You know what I'm saying? So I do get that, but that's still high for here.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's high for here.
All right. So we have Miss Janny, Miss Pilgrim.
Janine. Oh, Janny Pilgrim.
You can go ahead and unmute yourself and fire away. Jenny Pilgrim.
Janet.
There she is. Hey, Jenny.
Janet.
Are you there, Janet? I think she's still muted.
She's ready.
All right.
Pamela says she need help. She riding on Saturday.
Okay. I'm gonna hop over to Val. Val, can you go ahead and unmute and we'll come back to Jenny? Val, Gal.
Oh, there it is. This is Janie.
Oh, there
Janie,
she is.
go ahead.
Janie.
I
was hitting the wrong symbol for mute. Hi, everyone. This has been amazing. A lot of great information. I do agree that you have to visit a place before making that decision. But when Linda said Santa Clara, my ears perked up because my husband and I, through a mutual friend that lives in San Miguel, is buying property in Santa Clara, which is very reasonably priced, and it's by the shore. And you're right, there's nothing there. So it's kind of like the, the open frontier, as you will. But the rumor has it, I guess, especially with the train coming in, it's about an hour from Merida. But the rumor has it is that that's going to be, very populated as Merida continues to grow. So we're looking at it in terms of more long term. But we do want to take a trip out to Merida just to, get a lay of the land and see, the distance and see what we're getting ourselves into. But we're trusting our friend who lives in San Miguel. So one of the questions that I have is, I know it's hot, because initially I was telling my husband, there's no way that I'm moving to hell. That's what I was calling Merida. I can't live on the sun. I cannot live on the sun. So I can't move to Merida. And then we found Santa Clara. So one of my questions is, when you move to the shore, those breezes, I'm assuming that it's a lot cooler there. Would that be correct?
Yes, I would agree with that. Yes.
I would agree with that as well. It's warm breezes.
Yeah.
It's breezes, but it's warm breezes.
Constant? It's a constant breeze?
Well, I know I would probably say more constant than definitely out here in Merida. Now, what comes with that constant breeze is a constant breeze of sand in your face.
Going in your house.
And coming in your house all day. So
all day.
And I don't know if you've ever lived near the beach or on the beach, but the closer to that water you are, you're dealing with that salt water air. Your car will tend to rust up more. The house will more damage is more easily done to the house. So it's a different type of living. And like you say, there's gonna be a lot of sand coming in your house that you're gonna be constantly sweeping up.
Erosion.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Erosion. Yeah, the erosion from and then what is it? What is that? The time of year when they had what is it out there where you can't go in the water?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's in Cancun.
Yeah, they have that, and then rainy season, which is always fun, which is July through October. So you'll get a lot of overflow, from the water as well. So you have to be aware of it.
Yeah, so if you definitely intend to buy there, at least rent maybe for a month, or Airbnb for a month or 2 or 3,
and feel
so
that
you can see what it's really like.
Yep.
Okay, and you've been to that area already, right? I think you said, Cortez, that you checked out the Santa Clara area.
I just looked on the map, but I had never heard of Santa Clara, but I realized when I went to Tail Chat, I was about 20 minutes away. There's a town called San Cristano, which is right next to it, I believe. So it's about 20 minutes further. So I'm familiar with that area, and when I was in that area, it was secluded. I mean, it was very isolated. You know what I mean? You'll have to go further out to go do your shopping. Tail Chalk, it's a very beautiful town, more upscale. And, I had the same idea. I was like, man, 20 years from now, this place is going to, well, not 20 years, 10, 15 years from now, that place is going to be popping. But somebody told me the other day, they were there 20 years ago and it looked exactly the same. They had the same idea that it was going to grow and it was just completely untouched. 20 years later, it's the same thing. So I was like, okay, I ain't gonna make no 20-year bet on that. So just some things to consider. You know what I mean? If you're a recluse, because there are a lot of folks that are recluse and they live in them tiny little towns and they love it and you won't catch them anywhere else. You know what I mean? But
oh yeah, they live right in their little colonial and they don't come out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
My last question is regarding the attorney. Now, Cortez, I know that you mentioned that you're going to have an attorney on, because one of the things that we're looking at is getting a trust if we move near the beach. And so we need a trust, and we're debating whether we want to do a corporation trust or straight up trust, because the corporation, we were talking to one of the attorneys there, but that was like in Playa. We want someone local. She was saying that, if we wanted to rent, if we wanted to build a house there, if we wanted to do Airbnb, if we wanted to get a car, and of course, if we want to get a residency, that all that makes it easier, especially with the corporate trust, because you'll get that number, almost like that, not a social number, but I guess a kind of like a EIN for the business, where you can actually make purchases for a car, for a home, and other things like that, especially if you're, coming down and you don't have a residency yet. So do you happen to have a lead to an attorney that can construct a trust?
Yes. In fact, I'll post her information in the chat box in just a moment. So yeah, I'll post it in the group as well.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for answering my questions, both of you.
Absolutely. Val Gal, you are up. Unmute yourself and fire away. We can't hear you. I see you talking, but I can't hear you. There should be a unmute button on the bottom left. I'm seeing if I can try and unmute you, but it's not allowing me to.
Let me see if I can as a host.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Cartess,
beautiful lady.
nice
Beautiful
to see
skin.
you again. Last time we chatted, I was in August and I got the temporary residency. I am here in Merida.
Awesome. Hey, I love it. Congratulations. Kudos.
Niki, you don't even know what you have done for me. Just watching your videos and your mom. I moved from Charlotte, North Carolina. You did it for me. You did it for me. I am here. I came here September the 11th. I used the attorney Valeria Legal Merida. Yes, I think a lot of people are familiar with her. Beautiful. The transition of coming here was just unbelievable. I mean, there were some difficulties, finding a place, going through market, Facebook Marketplace, and that's a whole nother story of finding this place. It's still a little empty. You have echoes, but it's a 2-bedroom, and I'm scared out of my wits about the electricity bill because I have been warned. And since I moved in this place, let me tell you, Niki, I ain't turned this AC on yet. I have hit the remote control. I am so afraid.
I understand.
Oh God, because a lot of people have warned me, but I just want to speak. I vouch for everything that Niki and Cartess has said. I've only been here a very short period of time. I participated in a lot of the celebrations that they had here, like New Year. They had Day of the Dead, the whole weekend, then some. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really was. And then I volunteered for a kids' Halloween celebration that one of the aspects had here. And I swear to God, if you was just there, you would have thought you were sitting at a park somewhere in Atlanta, Georgia. I was almost in tears just to see the amount of families and people, we are here, and it's not just single, we are here as families. And I did not expect that. I really did not. And it's just, when you're walking down the street and you see another brother or sister, it is amazing how people stop. And you have, and not just, hello, how are you doing? But I'm talking, they're giving hugs. They're giving hugs here. And I just wasn't used to that. I was a little taken back. Like, I don't know you like that.
You was like, wait a minute.
But it's just a little bit more of a freedom. And like Niki said, you have to distress. You really have to just distress and just look at just a whole different way. It's a whole different way of life.
It's a
and
whole
just
way.
It really is. And just being here for a short period of time, I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
No, we're never going back.
I
won't be out in the middle of the street with the people twirling. I ain't going.
Because you see what you came from, And it's just amazing when I talk to like family members on the phone, trying to get my sister to convince her to come here. And, you know, she was on the phone the other night and it just sounded like she was in sheer panic. She was just talking about the things that were going on in New York and around the world. And a part of me was just like, you know, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been removed from that. And, you know, so I just wanted to say, thank you, Niki. Thank you, Cartess. You guys have the opportunity. Come for a visit. Come for a visit. But yes, you won't want to go back. You really won't.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's hot as hell. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It
really
it's
hot.
Is.
Ain't no joke. It's hot, but it ain't hot.
It's really not.
To be here.
Yeah, I came here in September, beginning of September, and I stayed in Central. I was in an Airbnb. I stayed there for a month in Airbnb. And literally, you did not want to leave outside between the hours of like 11 o'clock and like 3 o'clock because it felt like your skin was baking. I mean, it was just, yeah, you know, you were just like, am I standing on the equator? Because something ain't right, you know. So you literally, you know, I soaked up that last bit of AC at that Airbnb. You know, but like Niki said, yes, the temperature has changed. I was moving some stuff from the Airbnb and it was like early evening and I stepped outside. I was normally afraid to step out and I stepped outside and I started looking around and I was like, this is weird. You know, and it was just, you have the warnings of a cold front. And I remember I met a sister here and we were discussing, we saw it. The alert came up for cold front and we were like, oh, we better go to Walmart. You gotta have Walmarts here. I said, we gotta go to Walmart to get like blankets or something, you know. That cold front was dropping down to 79, 80 degrees. And that was
that's cold.
Yeah.
79 is cold. That's freezing.
Yeah, and you will see people with sweatshirts and jackets at 79 degrees. You know, right now it's like 77 degrees, it's a light breeze, and it's just really nice. Your money goes a lot further. It depends on what you're looking for here. You know, you can look for something huge, but I followed you, Niki. I was watching, I was stalking your videos, and it was just like you can really have a better quality of life, not at a high ticket price. If you want, you can. But, you can really enjoy your life. Yes, I believe this will add years to my life. I really do. So I'm not gonna hold y'all up, but yeah, just
that's awesome, Val. Yes, I'm liking your place back there. It looks good, Val. That's nice. That looks like you look good. I like that.
I'm Las Americas. Las Americas.
Oh, you in Las Americas? Okay.
Yeah.
1 or 2?
It's actually, now they didn't build this place up. I'm actually in 4. They haven't built it up. They are actually building up behind me. The place that I got in, it's brand new. The owner actually lived in he lived in Los Angeles when his wife is here. He came back, he started buying property. I know this is not the only property that he brought, but literally when I came in, he was like, I have the stove. He built the cabinets in the kitchen, but it was like nothing else. So thank goodness I have a lot of new. It's brand spanking new, and I don't want to throw my business out there, but I paid $380 US dollars. Okay, yeah. It's
what you got, a 1 bedroom? 2 bedroom? You got a 1 bedroom? It's 2 bedroom, $380. What y'all gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
What you talking about? What you talking about? 380 for what you talking about?
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
And it's brand new, literally, you know.
She the first person in it.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody never been in there but her, but Val. That's Val's house.
It's hard for people to believe, but it's real.
So, and I don't drive here. I drove when I lived in North Carolina. I sold my car, and I do work remote. I work for music publisher. I think I was telling you about that Cartess out of New York for like 17 years. And so the transition was simple. That wasn't the hard part. The hard part was trying to, because I don't speak no Spanish, trying to get the gas hooked up, you know, with the propane tanks that come out. That was just a joke, you know. You use Google Translate, but it can be frustrating when they say they're going to be here at a certain time delivering something, and you know me, I want to turn on the AC. So I'm sitting up there sweating to death, and it's like it's 7 o'clock, they're supposed to be here, and then 9 o'clock they said we're going to come tomorrow. So it's true about the delivery things. You just have to be a little bit more patient.
It'll happen for you.
It will happen. And let me tell you, when they deliver something in the US, they basically drop it off at your door and say, here you go. Okay, bye-bye. All right. And you still give them a tip. No, that don't work here. I had a wardrobe. Those guys said, do you want it over here? Do you want it over here? Let me put the knobs on for you. Refrigerator, hold up a second. Took all the stuff from the refrigerator, all the garbage and everything, and took it and put it back in their truck. The dining room table furniture came. They actually sit there and put everything together. And I said, you ain't got to do it. He says, we have to, because our boss will get in trouble. We have to send a picture. We can't just say we delivered it. They actually have to take a picture that's proof that it is totally no damage, no nicks, no cracks, no nothing. They take a picture of the completely finished thing. It's no additional charge for that. Okay, no additional charge. And customer service is real. It is real.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's so nice to go in Sears and have people on the sales floor.
Yeah, there's no way. You get treated this good, there's no way you can go back, girl. There's no way.
This is a good life. I'm telling you, it is. I ain't lied. You know, it's really good love. And I just want to tell another secret. I had never been to America before. This is my first time coming here. And I did an extensive research for probably over 2 years. You know, knew exactly what area and everything. And it was scary. It was really scary when everything was out of my place in North Carolina. And I was sitting there because I didn't bring, ship a whole house over here. I had 2 suitcases and a carry-on. 2 suitcases and carry-on. And sometimes you have to let things go. Sometimes you have to let a lot of materialistic things go. And just free yourself from that and come over here with a clear mind and start new. Leave all that behind. Just take the little things that are important. Small little things. Sometimes you got to put them in piles and say, woo, But at the end of the day, it is so worth it. Thank you again, Niki. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Kira. Congratulations again. This is looking good back there. I'm that look nice. High ceilings. Look at you.
All right. So, Miss Ella, we have you up next. Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you, Val. We appreciate you.
Hi. Thank you for having me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, Ella.
Hi. I think my cousin's on here. So, well, I got one of my questions answered about the heat. Everybody talks about how hot there it is, and it kind of scares you, You're kind of thinking, like, what am I getting into here? Like, who wants to be sweating buckets all day, So I was wondering, it seems like a lot of places have swimming pools. Like, it's quite common when I look at the rentals. And I was wondering isn't that kind of I know we consider it a luxury to have pools. So in Merida, apparently, is it an essential thing because of the heat? And how much does it cost to maintain that? What's the cost of having a pool for in terms of the as part of your budget?
The pools, everybody got pools. I mean, pools are like most people have them. Little small wading pools or really deep pools, but Cartess can speak to that because he has a pool. Don't you have a pool, Cartess?
Yeah. So on average, a pool guy, the first house we had a smaller pool. The house we're in now it's probably about 3 times the size, but the maintenance for the cleaning is not that big of a difference. So we have a pool guy that comes by like every 7 days, and on average he charges about $7.50.
$7.50.
Yeah, they clean the pool.
The people in the back, $7.50.
And so, and Kim is obsessed with the guy coming to clean the pool, but I'm like, no, we can see him every 10 days. You know what I mean?
Excuse me, is that $750 US?
That
Yeah,
would
about
be
$7.50
$7.50
US. Yeah.
United States dollars. To the
So,
voice of your conscience.
so he comes by about 3 days a month. We're thinking about buying a pump so we can kind of scoop it out and clean ourselves, because it's like every 7 days, 7 or 10 days, it's like, man, you know what? I'm about tired of seeing this guy over here. You know what I mean? Because it starts to become a nuisance. You know what I mean? It's like
Family member.
and
they like to eat too. A lot of people, they come over, they thirsty, hungry.
Knocking on your door, can you give me some water? One dude was like, can I get a Coca-Cola?
They
I'm
be
like,
going,
for real?
don't give them one because they don't want it all the time. My gardener, I messed up and gave him a 6-pack of Modulo. So every time, Modelo, every time he come over, he be ready.
I mean, like, no, you give me water. That's what you give me. I give him water in a cup with some ice in it. I'm like,
the go cup.
You try to stack up on those bottled waters for me, you know?
I love it.
Well, thank you. And the other question I have is, we were thinking, I've been researching Campeche a little bit because it's not very far from Merida. It's like, I think 2 hours or something. And I was wondering if, from what you know, if you would say that if Campeche is safe, if it's safe or not, maybe not as safe as Merida, because, you know, I've heard of things like, pirates and tour boats and people having to be worried about their safety there. But I was thinking about Campeche because it seemed like the temperature is not quite as hot as Merida. It's a little bit, there's a little bit of a difference with the temperature. Am I right? Or do you think it maybe doesn't make much difference?
Now, in terms of safety, I've been hearing and seeing little news reports on crime has increased, primarily, a lot more drug crime. Even the Mennonites. Yeah, them. I just read an article the other day when one of them guys got involved in the drug business, cartel business. So I've been hearing crime, the uptick of crime has increased. And keep in mind, Campeche is a separate state. So it's not in the state of the Yucatan.
In the Yucatan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in the Yucatan Peninsula, but the Yucatan state overall, it's a very great record. So you go into Campeche, you're in the state.
Sorry, so you're saying crime has increased in Campeche or in Merida?
In Campeche.
In Campeche.
Which is a separate state that's separate from the Yucatan. So I would investigate it a little more. A lot of people go there. It might have come down since the last time I've been reading news on that area. That was about 7 or 8 months ago. It might have changed, but that's been a concern for people. Temperature-wise, I mean, I can't imagine it being significantly cooler there versus here. I don't think that would make much of a difference in terms of why it's going to be hot. Because Campeche is only about, an hour and a half, 2 hours drive from here. So I don't think that'll make much of a difference.
In the temperature.
I
think your headphones might be dying, Cartess. Can you hear it, Cartess?
Yeah.
But you kind of choppy.
Yeah.
You can't. I think your headphones might be in need of a charging.
Okay.
Yeah, you choppy. Oh, they said they can't hear you, Cartess. You're very low.
All right. Can y'all hear me now? Still haven't.
That's a lot better.
Much better.
Yeah, okay. She said yes, they can hear you.
All right, perfect. Do you have anything else, young
One
lady?
more. In terms of schooling for kids, is there anything that you'd recommend that we keep in mind in preparing our kids for enrolling at a school? Do we need to bring things that, like, do they demand in the private schools there that you have letters of reference for your students and things like that. I saw in one video where the person talked about that, and I was alarmed. I thought, I've never heard of such a thing. But the things we need to prepare before we bring our kids there?
Yeah, definitely bring transcripts. That is one thing they ask for. That'll help expedite the process. So bring the transcripts. If they finish, say, elementary school, if they middle school, and let's say you're enrolling some high school kids, bring the transcripts or that they finished middle school or elementary school previously. A birth certificates with the apostille birth certificates, definitely bring that. Apostle, bring that. And once you bring them here, you're more likely will need to get them translated into Spanish. So there's a bunch of Spanish translators here that translate documents. They're going to ask for that. So those would be the main things: the transcripts and trying to think of, because I'm actively looking for a school now for my daughter, and those were the things that they asked for.
Did they ask for letters of reference?
That they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't ask for that.
Okay.
And I talked to quite a few schools that was not one of the things they asked for.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Greta Cobb.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Hi, Niki. Hi, Cartess.
Hey.
Cartess catching all the kisses. I first want to thank you and Niki. You all don't know us from Adam. And what you do on YouTube, you bring people with a varied of life experiences. You don't know our experiences at all. And I often think about the woman with the stroke, because I had 3 strokes. And I went, when you sent that video, I sat up in bed because by the time it hit, it was like 3 in the morning. I saw that notification. So wait a minute, what happened? Oh my goodness, that was so powerful. So I often think about how is she doing? And then you had another lady who, I think the title in the video said she was living on her Social Security and she still got money left. But she was leaving at the end of the, I think she was at the end of her lease. I just appreciated those videos and wanted to say that to you. You don't, we're hiding behind the cameras. You're on that side of the camera, and everybody, since we're mirroring each other, all those different diversities and lived experiences, and something's going to hit us. Maybe somebody enjoy bubblegum, and you'll have somebody that enjoy bubblegum, and you do a video on that. I just appreciate that so much. And my question is on, I know this may, I think you touched it in one of the videos on the apartments, the low-key housings that you had video with the concern regarding the rain. Is there flooding on the low, since there is no sewer type thing? Is there a lot of flooding, and how does that impact the housing?
It's a sewer. We got sewers. They just shallow.
Oh, okay.
So,
and it takes a minute for it to drain. Go ahead, Cartess. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah. So I don't see flooding in terms of water going into homes as a big issue. Now, there are certain parts of town where it can be an issue. And hold on, let me mute somebody. So there are certain parts of town where that could be an issue, but for the most part, and as I mentioned in that video, it floods everywhere in Merida. So there are just some things that, when you're looking at a house, you just want to kind of make sure you're not in a dip in the bottom part of that dip where water can flow in. So Another thing you can do when you go into some of these houses, you just kind of look at the walls, and you might see some water lines where water has come into the house. You know, so just little things you have to watch out for. I've been in 3 different houses so far. I haven't had any flooding issues at all. Most of the people that we placed into their homes, I have not heard any complaints from them regarding flooding. They say Los Americas is one part of Merida that experiences a lot of flooding. But even then, you know, I've been in that area when it's rained very hard, and I really hadn't seen it for myself. You know what I mean? But and a few times in the few videos that are circulating online of Los Americas being completely underwater was from a big hurricane, right after a big hurricane had come through. But again, you know, some places you move into, you might have that issue. But again, it's just asking neighbors, going to the area when right after it rains, when you're looking at a house to see if it's an issue, talking to some of the neighbors out there before you move in. And like I say, really just making sure you're not in the dip or on the main road. There's little things you can do to avoid it. Stay off of the main roads where traffic is where there's a bunch of traffic, because when it does rain, the water will rise up. But the water will recede down pretty quick, you know. But while the water is up and you got a whole bunch of cars flowing down the street, that's pushing the water up into the driveway and potentially up into your house. So again, staying off of the main streets could help avoid that.
Okay. It floods over here in my neighborhood more so than it did in Chaberna. So a couple of things that I've seen: the flood streets, but the streets flood, but the house doesn't flood. In most cases. And then also over here, they have a truck that comes and clears out the street. It's a big truck with a big tank on the back, and it sucks all the water out of the street. So the couple of times that it's flooded in my neighborhood, I've seen that truck. I took a couple of pictures. I missed to post it online just to show the truck coming to clear the street out. And I hadn't seen that in Chaberna. But then again, I didn't see much flooding in Chaberna. And like you said, Cartess, it receded in like 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes. Because the drains are shallow, it just takes longer. Yeah. You know, it gets fuller faster and it takes longer for it to recede. But I haven't seen flooding as an issue. Like you said, Los Americas, some parts.
Yeah, yeah. Any other questions?
One more. When are you going to do another video with you and the 3 amigos?
I still have a couple of clips that I haven't posted yet, so I'll probably be posting one in a few days. I don't know. Sometimes it's just spontaneous. We all might just be hanging out together and just talking. So generally, when the 3 of us get together, I'll generally record something. But I have maybe 2 more clips that I'll be posting soon.
Okay, it gave a lot of information.
Great. And the lady with the stroke, I'll give you a quick update. I know somebody asked about that in the chat box. She is doing extremely well. She just flew back home to visit some family in Canada and to take care of some business, because she lives in both Nigeria and Canada. So she flew back to Canada. She'll be returning, I think, probably someday this week. But she is doing extremely well.
They've been partying. She's been on videos out enjoying herself, honey.
She gets out. We helped her find for lack of a better word, a personal assistant. You know, started out more as a housekeeper, but the lady lives in the house with her. She comes in Monday morning and leaves Saturday afternoon. She cooks for her, she cleans for her. This particular lady has her own car, so she actually takes her to her appointments, her physical therapy appointments, everything. Makes all the, and the ladies are local Mexican, so she's getting the best deals on everything because this lady's doing all the
Making
talking
a killing. Yes, she is.
and getting everything straight. So when they leave the physical therapist, this is how good this lady is. When they leave the physical therapist, they get back home. The lady like, Miss Faye, it's time to do the exercises that the physical therapist talked to us about today. So let's get to work. And so she'll start working her legs and working her arms and all of that. And she pays about $150, $160 a week for that service.
$150,
Yeah, I'm like,
$160 for the people in the back.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I should have got a 5-bedroom house instead of a 4-bedroom because I need to get me one up in my house.
I do too. I need somebody to cook. I'm tired of cooking. Because I know what's his name had somebody cooking there 3 days, $25, and they make 3 days worth of meals.
You know what I mean?
$25 US.
Wow. Cartess, thank you. Thank you, Almira Moses, for partner waters for us. Give my love to your wife and children for allowing you to share yourself with us. I'm really grateful for that. And for Niki, thank you, and your mom for just sharing yourself with us and not making us even in our, I'm not gonna say ignorance, but yet just not knowing, just sharing yourself, just being vulnerable. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Cheryl A., you are up next.
All right. Hello. Thank you, Cartess. Thank you, Niki, for having this. This
you.
is awesome. Niki, I did I did register for a session with you, so I'll have to pick some dates because I have some more questions anyway.
Okay.
But so I wanted to ask about some of the areas you all had mentioned, Las Americas, and Cartess, you mentioned that you were in Concao. Niki, I wondered, you had just mentioned Chaberna. Where is that, and how far is that from Cacao? Because I was looking at the Merida map, so I'm trying to see these pages.
Okay, so I actually did Sure, honey, you're in the right place because I did a video called Mapping Merida for anybody who wants to go back to my YouTube channel, where I take a map of Merida and show you where I am and where I was. And because even if I tell you guys and you're not looking at a map like Cheryl, you will have no idea. Chaberna is northwest and Cartess and I are southeast. So Merida's in the middle. That means we were over here and now we're over here.
Okay, gotcha.
And Cartess has done so much canvassing of the landscape in Merida. I'm definitely gonna give his question to him, but I was in Chaberna. So Chaberna is pretty small. I'm in Mariano Zapata Oriente right now, which is on the other side of Las Brisas or Alta Brisa. And Cartess is north of me, maybe 15 minutes north of me. So both of us are now on this side of Merida when we were on this side.
Right. Okay.
But Cartess can speak to the colonials because he's probably been the majority of them.
What was your question about the colonials?
Well, I was just trying to get an idea of where they were because I hear the names. Like I was looking at
Las Americas is north, so it's further. And if you go on the map and do the layers where they show the names, it'll show you Las Americas, Las Americas 2. It'll show you Central. It'll show you Chaberna. You got to zoom in because there are a billion colonials.
Right.
Colonials could be five blocks and then another colonial, right, Cartess?
Yeah.
And then another 10 blocks and then another colonial. It could be a certain part of town, but it'll have 20 or 25 colonials in it. I know where I live. If I just go down the street, north is another colonial, west is another colonial, south is another colonial. So these are neighborhoods or subdivisions, what they're called in the States, subdivisions. So all these little subdivisions. So Cartess, you got it, bro, because you've been to all of them. I mean, I know Las Americas 1 and 2 and Chaberna. I've been to both of those. And then, of course, where I am. And also Zitzia. A lot of people are moving to Zitzia, which is a new city that has colonials inside of that city. I got two girlfriends that live over out there. Both of them don't have no neighbors on the right-hand side. They got one little store out there, but Merida is like this. When the people, if you build it, the people will come. So they build, and then they start building businesses around where people settle. So when you go there, like Cartess said, there's nothing there. You know, you end up going to these places, and there's nothing there. But the more people that move there, Cartess, I think we talked about the OXO. They finally got an OXO in Zitsia, and then they're building the Sam's Club. So the more people that migrate to the area, build there, live there, they will build in the colonial. So you'll have your options there, and you don't have to go that far.
Okay, that's cool. All right. But I did have another question for you, Niki. I'm in Baltimore, and I know you said you came from the DC area. Yay! How did you plan? Like, how did you get to Merida? Did you fly direct from Baltimore or Dulles?
There are no direct flights. That's the first thing, no matter where you're coming, because you got to switch to. Yeah, I know. I looked and I was like, Cartess. He was like, no, there's no. You'll have to connect to North Carolina. You have to go to Douglas, or you'll have to go to Houston International. Not even Hobby. Houston International or North Carolina are your connection points to transfer to a North American or international Aeromexico flight. You got to get on the Aeromexico to come into Mexico. Right?
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So there's no direct flights, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah.
So I went through Houston.
Okay.
I went. Yeah, I took it because it had the now usually there's layovers as well, and seems to me that Charlotte has the longest layovers, like a day, 19 hours, 23 hours. But Houston had like 2 hours, 4 hours. So I said, I know Charlotte's right here, but I gotta go over and go down. So that's what I did. I went through Houston.
Okay. Okay. Because I know I can get that. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, babe.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is a trick for y'all. Everybody listen up. When you fly these flights and you going to Houston International, is a huge airport. You will miss your flight trying to, because they're gonna let you off and it's gonna be way across there. Order a wheelchair. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if ain't nothing wrong with you. You order a wheelchair. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
I was like, 2 wheelchairs, please. And they will bring the wheelchair. It's right at the gate, and they will. I'm gonna tell you what it do for you. You don't have to stand in line. You go through security. You don't have to do that. You go on this side with the wheelchair straight through security. Another thing is you board first. People with wheelchairs and babies board first. They will take you right to the gate. They will transfer you over to the cart. You know, when they drive the little cart, the buggy, whatever it takes, because you'll never make it. Carrying all that luggage and trying to, it's too much. Even if you got carry-on. So everybody in the sound of my voice, y'all get a wheelchair assistance or some type of assistance.
Thanks for the tip. I know I flew into because I've been going to Puerto Vallarta because that's where I got my visa appointments done. So I flew there twice, but I've had to. I left BWI, which is from Baltimore, flew into Houston, and then down to Puerto Vallarta. And I keep saying, well, okay, I want to try to go to the Cancun Merida side, and I was like, well, how in the world am I going to get there? Southwest has direct flights from BWI Baltimore to Cancun, but then Cancun is Reagan.
I did Reagan.
Oh, okay.
National.
Okay, out of DC.
Reagan National to Houston, and then Houston to Merida.
Oh, gotcha.
Because Cancun is still 2 hours. You know, you still got to make it from here to here. If you do go to Cancun, because a lot of people have, it's cheaper depending on, you know, the time of year. It's pretty expensive during this time of year. You can go to Cancun and get an auto here for like $15, $20 or something like that. And come that way too, if it makes more financial sense for you.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
You're welcome, Cheryl.
You're welcome. Robert Smith, you are up.
Robert.
Hello, all. How's it going?
Wonderful. How about yourself?
I'll see you guys in about a week from now. I'll be out
there. He on his way.
Robert. Okay. I just made the connection with the name.
Yeah.
Cartess, you're going to be riding me around for different areas, looking at houses and that type of stuff.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Nick doing the same thing too. Now, the question I have is, if I come down there and I see a really nice house, and I say, wow, I really like that house.
Get it.
I want
Get it.
house.
Get it. Get it.
And
Get it.
possible to buy it, or do you have to be a resident? I'm an American citizen, but do you have to be a resident of Mexico to buy this house?
You don't have to. No,
Either one. Okay.
You don't need to be. You don't need to be a resident.
You don't need to be a resident.
You don't?
Money. They want your money. They want
right?
some American dollars. They don't care about your card.
They don't care about where they say they want that money, huh?
They want them greenbacks.
Okay, say I bought the place and I'm like, wow, it's too hot in here in the summertime. I just want to come down for 6 months out of the year. Do they have like property managers down there, somebody that can manage your property while you're not there?
I'll manage the property for you, sir. I'll be happy to help you with that.
Well, yes, short answer, yes.
Y'all looking for a job? Y'all can come down here and manage some of these properties.
You had to be a citizen of Mexico to buy the property, but you don't.
No.
You don't.
Okay.
No, they want that money. They don't care nothing about that. Actually, purchasing a property will help you obtain your residency. Correcto, Cartess?
Depending on the amount of the purchase of the house. Yeah, the threshold. But yes. But yeah, you don't have to be a Mexican citizen. Resident.
You're kind of breaking up.
We can't hear you, Cartess. I need you to get some more headphones because those are not the ones.
Okay.
Ready, baby. You got to get that Yeti.
Nikki, I'll be looking forward to that midnight dinner we supposed to have.
Sunset? You ready for the sunset rooftop joint? You have a good time.
Sure.
I already made the reservations. I made the reservations this week.
Hey, great. I'm looking forward to that. That's all the question I just had to ask about.
That's it? Okay. Awesome. I look forward to meeting you in person. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I look forward to meeting you in person. And like you said, we will have a real estate professional real estate lawyer on who can give a lot more feedback and details to your question as well. In fact, when you come, I'll see if I can arrange a meeting with one so you can talk to him directly.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you Jay Cruz's information too, Robert. He's a builder, so he'll be able to answer a lot of questions.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you, Robert. Linda, you're up next.
Linda, come through, Linda. You're welcome, Linda. Hold on. Linda, you in the house? Oh, there she goes.
Hey. I forgot my question.
Now you see why I keep.
Let me put my hand there.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Go ahead, Trina. You're up next. Trina.
Cartess. Hey, Nikki. How are you guys doing?
All right.
I got a question. Because Nikki, I'm here in the DMV.
Hey.
And, you know, I was thinking about flying down, and most people that I've heard, they always say they fly into Cancun and then come over. Are the flights that much more expensive? Because hardly anybody, it seems, flies into Merida, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, you got an international airport there. And then my next question, kind of tied in with it, is, from my understanding, at the end of next month, the new super train will be connecting the Yucatan over to like Cancun, Tulum, and whatnot. Will that be, do they have a, do you know of yet that they have a connection where you could fly into Cancun and then take the train from there? into Merida?
This thing, the E-tram won't be up until December of 2024.
Boy, it got pushed back that far?
It's always been December 2024.
Huh.
But they might make it
so
because they're working very hard.
Okay. Okay. All righty.
And what was the other goal? People flying to California to save money.
Okay. There's an echo in filling 4 hours on the bus. But when there's an airport right there that I could fly into. But Cartess, I want to thank you because the last time I was on in August, I had asked you about the car situation, but you posted the answer. You said you'd look into it. And so I got my information because I was also contemplating doing a drive down and bringing my car. I have an SUV, and there were some things I did want to bring. And I know like a few people, Angela and Lamar, who were from the DMV, drove down from here in Bowie, Maryland. And so although they went to Querétaro, you know, I've heard of several people that have taken that drive down and mapped it out. And it is, you know, everybody's been like, the drive down was smooth, you know, no issues or anything like that. And I also know that there is, oh goodness, what is her name? I'm drawing a blank. But there are, oh crap, I can't think now. But there's a service that you can hire drivers. I do know people that have done that also. So I've been contemplating back and forth whether to drive, you know, and find out who I could get to drive with me, friends or family, as opposed to possibly hiring the one of the services. Do you know of anyone personally, Cartess, that has made that move?
Yes.
So that's right. I know Robert did, but Robert's also closer from Dallas, Texas, down to. I was just curious. Go ahead. You were about to say something. I'm sorry.
Why do you make that drive without the issue? Before I keep talking, are y'all able to hear me pretty well?
Yes.
People are making that drive.
We got an echo though.
There's an echo now.
The echo is still up.
Okay, we're good now.
You're good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So
we still got an echo.
Still have an echo. Let me try my view. Let me see. I might have somebody.
Oh, there you go. You clear
All right.
now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's much better.
All right. So a lot of folks make that drive without any issues. There are people who will also drive your car here for you. That's an option. A lady just recently did that not long ago. I don't know what she paid to have that done. She met them in Texas, and then they took it over from Texas and brought it here to Merida within 48 hours. They made a stop in Monterey, and then from Monterey on down to Merida, I believe. I'm not sure what route they took, but that's an option. There's another young lady who's having her car shipped. She's driving to Florida to drop her car off, and then they're bringing the car into Cancun. And I think she said she's paying like $1,500, and it'll be there within a week. So there are a variety of options regarding that. I'm going to hop back to what you were talking about earlier about the airport. You know, I just want to clarify that if you fly into Cancun, there's about a 4 to 5 hour bus ride from Cancun to Merida.
Oh, it's 4 to 5 hours, Cartess? I thought it was 2.
No, not from Cancun.
It's 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours minimum. But because of some of the construction, it can take it from 4 to 5 hours. But 4 hours is the standard time, commute time from Cancun to Merida. So y'all keep in mind that you're going to have that bus ride. So I always try and tell folks that, look, if you try to save $200, understand that you got a 4 hour bus ride. And if you're only here for 5 days or 7 days, 5 days later, you're going to turn right back around and make that bus ride back to Cancun to hop the bus. And for me, it's like, it's not worth the headache.
To save money, that's
to save the money. I would rather spend that extra time investigating, say, Merida. You know what I mean? Because you might have to leave a day early to get to the airport back to Cancun so you can catch the flight on time. And again, that's if there are no delays. You know, so to factor that in, I fly each time that I came here, I flew straight into Merida. Now I did have connecting flights. I believe the first time we connected in from Atlanta, we connected into Houston. And then the other time, I think we flew out of Greenville and we flew into Miami.
Oh, that's right. Florida is the other one. Florida, Charlotte, and Houston.
So we flew into Miami and then from Miami straight into Merida. Now, my daughter is getting married in November, the end of this month. Normally, I wouldn't waste my time going to Cancun to hop a plane. But in this case, it's 5 of us flying back. So I'm like, all right. So in that case, and plus I got a car. And so since I have a car, I'm going to drive myself to Cancun. I found some parking stations. They just charge like $10 a day to keep my car there per day. So it's like, all right, I can drive there, hop the plane, saving about, $400 per ticket. So in that case, it's worth the $2,000 savings for me to go down there and do it. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, we want to do it. And then when we fly back into Cancun, we'll hang out there for about 3 days, check Cancun out because I've never been there. And then we're going to drive back. So just factor that time in because a lot of folk, the vast majority of folk that I've spoken to that took the ride from Cancun to Merida by bus, they always regretted it when it was time to go back because time flies by quick. You're already exhausted. And then to get on that 4 hour bus ride, too much for most people. You know what I mean? So factor that in.
Exactly. It is 20 minutes from Merida right to the airport.
So, yeah, correct. Hopefully that answered that question.
You did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Pamela, you are up next.
Shalom, shalom, family. How y'all doing?
Wonderful.
I'm finally able to speak. No, I'm just playing. But no, I've been enjoying the conversation, and I wanted to say, listen, it is time for me to leave this place. I am in Babylon.
Yes, sir.
So it's time to go. I need to find me some place to go. So I've taken 2 weeks off, and I said if I didn't do it now, I probably never do it. So that's why I am going to be in Merida somewhere Saturday. So I'm letting y'all. I don't know anybody there. I don't know anybody. The only people I know is y'all. So, I'll tell you. So when I come there, so when I come, and I'm gonna be standing at the airport looking crazy unless one of y'all come get me because I don't know where I'm going and I don't know what I'm doing. But you know what? I ain't scared, and it's time to make a move.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I'm not scared. So my family's saying I'm crazy. You going? You don't even know that place. You don't know nothing. I'm like, y'all, whatever y'all want to say is fine, but it's time for me to make a move. And I want to come and pal around with Cartess and Robert and whoever else because I need to find me a place to stay because I'm serious about the move and I'm serious about changing some things in my life. and because it's time. My kids are grown, you know, they got their own thing, which is a good thing, and I'm ready to make a move at this point. So I have booked me a flight, and I'm coming in Saturday. And I hope that y'all feel it in your heart or whatever I need to do. Don't leave me at the airport here, because otherwise I'm gonna be standing. I'm gonna have to make me a pallet in the airport if y'all don't come get me. Because I
You don't have to
don't
make
know
me
where
a
I'm
pallet,
going.
baby. You don't
I
have
don't
to
know
make
where
me
I'm
a pallet.
going.
All you gotta do is jump in a cab. The cab stand is right downstairs. It'll take you exactly where you want to go. And then Cartess may have something. I
Okay.
do. I have packages that'll help you.
Okay.
We here to
Well,
help. We here to help.
yeah, because I'm serious. I don't have a place to stay or anything. Look, I was able to get the time off from work, and these are the 2 weeks before I work for FedEx. So we're getting ready to go
Oh,
into
y'all
our
about to get slammed.
yes, and I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, at the home office of FedEx.
Ooh.
So nobody can, as
I'm
of
sorry.
December 1st, we can't take off. They call it blackout. So nobody can take off between from the beginning of December to the end of December. So if I'm coming, I got to do it now.
Yeah,
So,
I know what you mean.
yeah, so I was able to get the 2 weeks off. So I'm off this coming week. Next week, and I'm off the week of Thanksgiving.
Oh, good.
So I said, you know what? If I don't do it now, I won't do it. I'm doing it now. So I don't know anybody. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm staying. And you know what? I don't care.
I want you to change it up.
Yes, ma'am.
Pamela, I want you to change it up and say, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to find out.
There you go. I'm going to find out.
People, but I'm going to meet people.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes. I might not understand, but I will. I'm going to find my way.
Yes, I'm going to find. Yes. Thank you, Miss Niki. Thank you, Miss Niki. I'm going to find my way.
You're going to find
because you know what? The universe always sends the people that I need. It may be me that the universe always does. That's why I don't worry about stuff. That's why I'm not afraid. So I'm just ready.
And give it to you when you need it. See, you don't need it yet. You ain't here. So it's all going to work out.
That's it.
All the time, Tanya. That's right.
Yeah. So Cortez, I'm coming, and I want to pile around with you and Robert or whoever else on a donkey, on a bike, on a skateboard. I don't care.
Area pigeon.
Awesome.
Yes. So I just need to know who I need to call or what I need to tell y'all or what I need to send you. Do you need my credit card? What you need? Just tell me what you need. We're gonna make it happen.
I just need your credit card.
Yeah, I do. I need your credit card and a hug. I don't.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just playing.
Okay.
Shoot me an email. Shoot Niki an email.
Okay.
Either one of us. A young lady here that's going to be talking next. Her name is Lynn. She says she has a 3-bedroom house and she has room. She'll put you up in that place.
What?
How about that? So
yeah, don't let me do my dance now. Don't let me do my dance. What? Oh my goodness! You see what I'm saying? What I just say? It always works. I'm telling you, it always works out. That's why I ain't worried.
No reason to be.
Okay, so Lynn, how do I get in touch with you, or what am I supposed to do?
She said just bring your credit card.
I'm gonna bring my credit card.
I just put my email address in the chat box. Just shoot me an email. I have Lynn's phone number, and I'll send it straight to you.
Okay, and I'll send you mine as well. So
okay.
But Cortez, I'm gonna be there Saturday now. I'm gonna be standing at the airport. You're gonna see with this fuzzy head girl. I'm gonna just be standing outside sweating because y'all say it's hot. But I'm gonna be there.
Perfect. Well, congratulations on taking the leap.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
So I'm not gonna ask any other questions at this point because I'm just gonna wait till I get there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just coming, and then whatever happens from there, we
So
just
many
gonna roll
people
with
have done it. You are not
Yeah.
alone. I know a lot of people who have just shown up.
Yeah.
They showed up, they had a savings. I'm people.
Yeah.
Showed up, had a savings, and fate took it from there. So that's part of letting go, you know what I mean, and letting life happen.
Yes.
And being scared and doing it anyway.
Yep. Yep. Never done anything like this before, but okay.
Greta
Okay,
said,
it's okay.
enjoy your journey.
Exactly. But thank y'all so much for taking my question and call and being there. Lynn, I don't know you, but thank you so much for offering your services and
Lynn
taking,
is your new roommate.
I know. I'm just so excited. Well, I will be there. So, and Cortez, I'll shoot you an email.
Perfect. Sounds
With
good.
all-
Talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Lynn Shade, you are up next. Miss Lynn,
Hey.
how you doing,
Buenas
young lady?
noches. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien. I see the Spanish classes have been working out.
Look, I cannot, gracias, thank Cartess enough for assisting me after being in Altabrisa, Mérida for approximately, what now, 2-3 months?
Yes, time is flown.
And moving into a new nueva casa, of which it flooded. In a nice area. And Cartess was, I cannot thank you enough, my brother. Sorry, I have my swimsuit on underneath my shirt trying to race to be on this cast with everyone. But thank you a million times over. And I understand most of you, and especially you, Pamela, the difference is I had friends that I had known for years here. So I had come to Mérida back and forth, but they assisted me. And one of the things that touched my heart about Mérida compared to many other places that I have been and lived, because my father, who passed not that long ago, was a pilot with the Air Force and Delta Airlines. So I had been to other places in Mexico. And what touched me and brought me back to Mérida was the love of the people here, unconditionally, for helping you, even if some don't speak Spanish or French or whatever. It was the love, and not asking for, can I have your credit card? Can I do this? I mean, the friends that I made here over the years compared to other places in Mexico or Colombia, it was the love that I found, the peace, compared to living in the U.S., Estados Unidos, was beyond belief. I moved here after being in the medical field over 20-something years, trauma, ER, you name it, because of all the, how can I say it in a nice way, racism that I saw, you know, in the medical field, the high cost of living, you know, and it brings stress to us as Black people, minorities, day after day. When you give 100%, I decided enough was enough. So I've been here a short period of time, but as Cartess knows, mi casa es su casa, my casa is your casa, because I know the pain that we have experienced as people. And I felt in my heart, if I could experience the love that came to me from the people in Mérida, I wanted to give it back. But I came here, first of all, to just distress from all the anxiety and racism in the US. So it's going to be okay, Pamela. Just bring your credit card. Bring your credit card. No, it's okay. Cartess will give you my number, and it's cool because he's been a godsend. And Niki, I don't know you, but I do know one thing. You have a heart of gold, and thank you so much to both of you and everyone else for sharing and caring. And that's what we need as people, to be cared for, held without being judged and having to always put out and get nothing in return. So that's all I have to say for that. The two questions that I have is this. One has to do with, we were discussing about people, they had questions about driving here versus, say, taking a plane or shipping goods, because I ship my goods by container and then flew here after I sold my home. But I do have friends here, and one of my friends had informed me, this was over 2 years ago, and I have my residency, that one of her friends who had built a home, in fact, they have two, was driving, this was a few months ago, and was stopped by the policia somewhere outside of Centro. I don't know what it was for, but they had also been here a while and had their cars, and the cars were impounded. And her husband was an officer, high ranking in Merida for a number of years before they got into immigration. And so he was like, why is my car being impounded? She informed me that anytime you have a car that was not purchased in Mexico, but in the US, and you've been here 4 or 5 years, and you can check it out, that basically if you have not sold that car, that they can by law take that car and sell it. So I don't know, it's just a question that I have, but that's what she informed me, that the car, if you've been here 4 or 5 years and the car was purchased in the US, Canada, or whatever, that the police, if you're stopped, will sell that car. So if you can give me information on that, that's why, you know, my car is still in the US. I'd like to get clarification on that question, because I would hate for someone to, you know, not know that information, and they have a car and then the car is taken after 4 or 5 years and they're scrambling trying to find out, how do I get a car? So do you know anything about that, Cartess or Niki?
Well, I know, and again, this is a question that I would definitely push off to this immigration attorney. I know there are some rules and limitations on how long you can keep a car in the keep a car here in Mexico once you become a resident. So once you become a permanent resident, and again, I don't want to misspeak, but it has something to do with that most likely. Once you become a permanent resident, there's a certain limit on how long or how old your car can be that you brought in from the U.S. So instead of giving you wrong information, I'd rather have the immigration attorney talk on it, unless somebody else knows.
I just know my girlfriend has been living here 12 years and they still got the same car that they bought from Canada, a little Volkswagen. And they still have Canadian license plates. So evidently they're going back there to renew it or whatever. I don't know if they've ever been stopped by the police. I don't know the implications with it. I'm with you, Cartess. I don't want to misspeak. But I do know somebody, a few people, who have their car. Her car is fairly older. She has her residence. Her husband has his residence. They're Canadians. And they said they still got that same little Volkswagen they didn't have for 12 years.
I don't know. Like I said, that's why I was inquiring, because my girlfriend's husband, before they got into immigration with expats, was an officer for many years with the Merida police. And this was a, Caucasian couple, and they've been here for years, but it wasn't, a car, Mercedes or whatever, but it was impounded and then sold. So, I guess if you could just let me know further about that, because I have 2 cars that are still sitting. Well, I have relatives that are taking care of the cars in the U.S. I'd appreciate it. Might save me from spending 10 or 15 grand getting one here.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll get some information on that.
Okay. Okay.
Echo.
Great. And the second question I had was for individuals that have come here and they're renting, because a lot of people, they go through friends or Facebook marketplace when they're looking to rent. And fortunately, you know, I had friends that helped me here. But it goes back to Richard's question when he was asking the question of thinking about
Robert,
purchasing a home. Do I need to be a resident? Well, of course, no. As long as, you know, you can wire transfer your dineros, dollars, it can happen. But my question is this: what would you say is more advantageous after you've been here for a while and you've scoped out the areas, whether it's a year, year and a half, or 2 years? From your standpoint, both of you, would you recommend waiting after you've been here a while to see what area you would like to live in before purchasing? And second of all, would you recommend purchasing a casa versus buying land and then building? And the reason I asked this question, one of the reasons, is as I lived in that new home before I moved to Alta Brisa, it was a new home and I was renting. And Cartess, you know the problems with tarantulas and everything else coming in that house. Brand new in a very upscale area of Concal. And thank you, Cartess, for saving me my life from tarantulas. But I saw the workers, and come Friday, they would lit up with that beer, margaritas, and Monday, lunes would come, Tuesday, and those suckers would not show up as they are building on to the addition of that new house I was staying in. And I thought, what's up with this? So it goes back to this question. If you do decide to purchase land and build, the one thing I experienced personally was seeing them. Now, these are homes that are 5, 6, 7 million pesos. And it was like that for most of the homes. They would work their butts off. But come, hey, Friday, come lunes, martes, mercules, I just tell it the way it is. They were nowhere to be found. So that's why I'm asking you, because personally, I want to know. I don't want to be buying some land and waiting 2-3 years, not the builders, but the workers themselves, to have a fiesta. And you know what happens during the holidays? They seem to disappear. So that's a question I'm going to put out to you, because I saw one of your YouTube videos and I'm like, let me show him some videos of these guys lit up. And probably Monday, lunes, martes, they're nowhere to be found. So you go ahead, you can jump in with both feet.
All right. You want to go first, Niki, or?
I can't. Mine is going to be short. I'm sure yours is way more detailed than mine. So the answer to that for me is twofold. I definitely think I should be here at least 2 to 3 years before I consider buying a home. I will buy a home, and I also suggest buying property, because Merida in 5 years, we may not be afforded to live in the city. So this is the time to buy. This is the time to invest. Cartess and I have had several discussions about this. They have property in Candid. You can buy a lot for $2,000. Why not? Why not own property in Mexico? Why not? For that type of pricing. I would do that quickly because these rural places are going to sell out quickly, and the property value is going to increase over the coming years. However, the flip side, I would take my time when it comes to buying. I would definitely like pace myself on the buying, because you just don't want to go through having to go through buying and selling and redoing your life. And I don't, you know, that's good. But buying property, I'm totally for that. That's all I got, Cartess. Oh,
all right.
Zoning areas. You're welcome, sweetie. Also, zoning areas. I was talking to the builder, and he was telling me like Central it has specific government zoning laws because it's an historical part of the city. So simple things like you want to paint and you can't because it has to be approved by the local government for you to paint. So when you start looking for properties to buy on land, about whatever you do, just make sure you read the small red print.
Yeah, I had two friends in Synchro. They bought a few years ago for $142,000, and the other one, they're both Caucasian, for $164,000. And now the homes are, and this was only maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a big
and
issue.
They're only there a few months out of the. They're only there. They say anytime you want to stay in the house, here's the keys.
Wow.
See.
Yeah, that's zoning. Even when it comes to electricity and like people that live in Candid don't have to pay for water at all because of the zoning, right? I found out that I live in a higher electricity zoning area. Chaberna was a lower zoning area when it comes to electricity. So I'm learning this stuff out. I don't know if you knew that, Cartess. I found that out. The different areas actually, and I think you did. We talked about it. Have different zoning laws and stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, Niki.
You're welcome, man.
Yeah. So definitely, I would say I'd wait to buy a house until a person's been here for at least a year. I might even say 2 years. I might even say live in 2 or 3 different houses. Because with each house that I lived in, I learned real quick what I didn't want, and I also learned what I really wanted, and what I thought I liked in one neighborhood, I realized I liked more of the other type of neighborhood, and even now in the place that we're living in a Pravada, which looks very beautiful, but then you start to find your limitations. For example, we needed the pool guy to come out to our house to do some light maintenance work on a pool on a holiday. He tried to come in through the gate and they told him no service work allowed on holidays. And so it was like, really? And then we find out this particular neighborhood is like, your car can't be this old. It needs to be a newer car. So had I not lived in the Pravada and moved here and bought a house in the Pravada right off the bat, all of these rules and limitations are just unknowns that I just would questions you wouldn't even think to ask. You know what I mean? A pool guy coming to your house on a holiday ain't gonna happen over here. You know what I mean? So that's why I would say wait a little while and possibly rent or live in 2 houses before you buy, because like Niki would mention earlier, every neighborhood, every colonia is totally different. Now that we're out here in the country, I like living in the country. I thought I loved living closer in the city where accessibility to everything was within reach. But I do like a slower pace lifestyle out here, which is something that we're used to and have always preferred. The speed limit, most cars don't go faster than 15 miles an hour because the roads are not, not so much traffic coming out here. If you have a horse, you can take your horse and go gallivanting up and down the street. So I think it just takes a little time to find what you really like. I hear more stories of people buying a house right after they got here, only to realize they didn't like the area or they no longer like being in Mexico as a whole. In terms of building, I think you're going to have a tolerance for that. Somebody made the comment, it depends on your tolerance level. I know going in, because we're looking to build, I know going in is going to be a complete cluster, F-U-C-K. I already know that. And the stories that you shared are very common. Most people who do get their house built, they will tell you stories just like the one you had. The project is going to be delayed, consistently delayed. It's going to be, you're not going to get it in the proper time frame. So I know that going in, and I do have the tolerance for that type of nonsense, for that type of craziness. That's what they do. Friday night, they gonna get them deals, and you might see
Friday
them on
night
Tuesday or
and
Wednesday,
Sunday.
and they'll resume. You know, I think the key is if you're going to build, is find a builder, find one that has a good reputation. Get referrals from other folks that have used them. Because I've heard some stories where folks had great builders and had a great team and got their project done on time. So they're out there. You just have to do the research to find the ones that's gonna show up and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I will definitely get with you and Niki, because look, I'm all in for getting those lots before the Mayan train gets here. So
yeah.
Get them now. The $2,000
your
lots.
email, Niki. Cartess, look, I'll be hitting you up after the wedding because I know you're very busy. And another thing, I just want to thank you, Cartess, for letting me know, because some people may have medications with scripts wondering, well, how do I get it refilled? Well, one of the wonderful things about the pharmacies here in Mexico compared to the States, you can get some of the same medications right over the counter without having a script from the doctor, and they're about 60 to 70% less than what you would pay in the US. I was shocked. Typical meal, desayuno, breakfast, lunch, dinner, $5-6 in US dollars, 150 pesos, 200. I feel like I have found my inner spirit self of healing and peace without the stress of having to constantly worry about the unpredicted. You know, the bills, the stress, the traffic. And if nothing else, being in Merida, whatever part of Mexico, that stress, it's just, it decompresses. It's like you feel like you're whole again and you have people who care about you. That's the one thing I have experienced, and for that I am so thankful that I made the move. So if you're wondering, should I make this move? Is it the best thing? Just draw a line, and down the line, just write down what are the advantages of moving forward with your life, and what are the things that cause you weekly and daily stress still remaining, whether it's in the US, Canada, wherever you are. And when you find that you have more negatives and stress in your life, for me personally, I decided enough. You deserve to be happy and have peace of mind. Go for it. You have nothing to lose, nothing to lose. So thank you both. I'll let the next person jump in, but I'll hit you up pertaining to, hey, getting with the builder and getting those lots quickly. I'll give you a break, Cartess, since your daughter's getting married at the end of this month. But thank you very, very much. I appreciate all of your love and support.
Absolutely. And Lynn here, I'm going to be interviewing her shortly in the near future. She sold her house in the States, and she had a lot of her stuff shipped from the United States here to Mexico. It was all done pretty affordable. I know a lot of people ask, can they have their stuff shipped from the US? And she's found a way, and she's going to share some of that, share her experiences on that in a future interview. So thank you, Lynn. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
It's nice meeting you, Lynn. Thank you.
You too. I'll be in touch. I won't hit you up tonight, but first thing tomorrow.
You can. I'll be asleep. I'll answer it when I get up.
Thanks, Niki.
And I also put the number to J. Cruz, my construction builder reference in the chat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you
Tell
so
him
much.
Niki sent you.
Okay,
awesome.
Thanks.
All right, Alicia, you're up next.
Hi, Cartess.
That's okay. Niki just said she was going to put the builder's information in the chat. That was my question.
Hey,
Awesome.
Audrey,
Okay.
yes, I put it in there, sweetie.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Cassandra, you are up next, Cassandra. Cassandra, you should see an unmute button in the bottom of the screen. Click on the unmute and we will be able to hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Hi, Niki.
Hey, Cassandra.
Hi, Cartess.
How you doing?
Good. I just wanted to jump in real quick about buying a home. It was definitely something that my husband and I considered not doing. However, since we were homeowners in the U.S., it is that mindset that I cannot throw away money. So we bought when we got here, 2 months after we got here, but there's several things why we decided to go that route. We have been researching Merida since 2017. So it was not our first trip here. There was like several exploratory visits, looking at videos. We put in the work. So we knew which area we wanted to move to. We did all of that. And my husband is a Mexican national. So there was a lot of hoops we didn't have to jump through. So that helped us. But I will say, if I do it again, which we will, and we bought a brand new house, but we had to do everything as if we were building the house. The house, all we got was a building, beautiful home, but we had to install everything. Cabinets, ACs, fans, everything we had to do. However, my husband does that kind of work, so that saved us. So there's a lot to consider whenever you're buying a house, even a brand new house. So just keep that in mind. So in the States, we renovated our house, which was an older home, and I did not want to do that again. But honey, I probably should have did that because at least you know that house done stood through hurricanes and whatsoever. So just keep that in mind, that it's a whole different ball game than buying in the States.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That's like you say, those are the little things most people just are not aware of. Like you said, typically, even when you buy a new house, you have to go in and put in your own cabinets, add closets, put in the lights, fit up sinks in the bathrooms and toiletry and all of that stuff. Completely different process than it is in the United States. So there's a lot to it, and like she said, Cassandra is like, might have been better off building the thing myself. If all they want to give you is just a concrete box where you got to go in and set up. So again, listen to the wisdom that Cassandra has shared, because the process here totally different. Robert, you are up. Robert Smith.
Yes, sir. I had a travel option that I almost took when I was coming to Merida next month. I was going to fly Cancun. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was going to fly into Cancun, and I had found a driver that was dropping off some people from Merida at the Cancun airport, and I could have got a half fare back with him back to Merida, but I passed on that because I just wanted to fly directly into Merida. So that's an option. Maybe if somebody if their travel plans are flexible, they can find a driver that's dropping off and they can ride back with them. And another thing, will my ATM be usable there? Will my credit card, debit card be usable? in the ATMs there?
Of course.
Okay, I'm just asking. I just want to be sure. And I should.
I sent you the thing. We had a consultation. You know better than that.
And pesos also, shouldn't I?
Yeah. So the bank will give you pesos.
Okay. That's it.
All right.
Thanks
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you for the questions. So yeah, for those that are not familiar, your ATM debit card that you use in the States can be used in the ATM machines here. Stick it in the ATM machine, choose the denomination. So if you want 500 pesos or 1,000 pesos, the machine will spit out pesos to you. You will pay a fee just like you do in the United States. The ATM might charge you $2 or $3. I will say stay away from the BBVA ATM machines if you're using an American debit card or a foreign debit card, because these jokers charge you like $9 to withdraw cash out of the ATM machine. They're very expensive, but all the other machines typically $2 to $3 for withdrawing straight from the machine. Citibank had great rates according to Lanisha. Hey, how you doing, young lady? So definitely check that out. Jenny, you are up next.
Okay, I just have a quick question. Thank you again for everything. You were mentioning buying land. Is there any particular area that you're considering?
For me, I'm looking at the Concal, Cholula area, which is where I'm at currently in Concal. This is more north, I think maybe northeast, slightly north.
It's southeast.
We're in the north. Concal.
North is where Los Americas and all of that. We're over here, so we're southeast. We're southeast of Merida, correcto.
Okay.
I had to find out where I was. I know I'm east, southeast.
All right.
It's where I live. I live southeast.
You live south. All right. So I'm looking at Concal, Cholula. Also, there's another area called Chicxulub, not to be confused with Chicxulub, Puerto, which is the beach, which is near the beach. So those are the three areas that I'm looking at because they're more rural. They're outside of the perimeter.
Having problems hearing you, Cartess.
Can y'all hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, you're garbly, but we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crackling, but
let me hold on 1 second. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So I'm looking at, like I say, Concal, Cholula, Chicxulub, Pueblo, because I like small towns. So that's where we're starting our search in terms of land.
Now, for $2,000, how many meters is that?
2,000 is in Canacine. That's where I'm looking. Canacine has lots for 2,000, not the places that Cartess is talking about.
Oh.
Those are more affluent areas. Canacine is like dirt poor.
Is there a lot of amenities there?
I've never lived in Canacine, and I don't really want to at this point, but I can see it flourishing in the next 5 years. That's why I want to buy land there,
right?
Not a house.
And for that amount, just generally speaking, how many square meters do you get for that for $2,000?
I can't give you the specs.
Okay, and so I've heard, this is a while back, I heard a YouTuber say that Merida is kind of like Atlanta. There's a lot of Black folks there. So do you find community? Do you hang out with Black folks, or do you hang out with the locals?
You want me to answer that, Cartess? Because I know you mostly stay with family.
Yeah, you go ahead first.
So I've done several videos about groups to join. That's the best way to meet people. You should be in Brothers and Sisters of Merida. You should be in Black Merida. They have functions every week. They just had a spades and I think it was a fried chicken and spades party. So there's things going on every day in Merida with Black people. That's what we do. We gather.
And that with the locals?
For me,
I know a couple of locals, but I'm not hanging out with locals because I can't speak Spanish to communicate with them.
And for me, we tend to spend most of our time with the locals. You know, that's where we spend the bulk of our time. My kids as well. You know, as Lalisha mentioned, it'll help you assimilate much faster, particularly if you wanted to learn the language. The thing that I find with hanging out with other expats, whether they're Black, white, brown, yellow, is the fact that they tend to leave more often. And when you start developing close relationships and close ties with expats that are passing through, and they leave, you kind of got to start over in building relationships and friendships. A lot of people move here with intentions of staying, but plans change. But for the locals that live here, where you build these relationships, for the most part, they're here. This is home. They're not going anywhere. Their family is everything. They're tied to the family. They own their own homes, so they're here. They're not going anywhere. So again, you know, and some people do fine with both. You know, it's really up to you, really. You know, for us, it was just like, you know, I'm not, and I deal with a lot of people because I'm dealing with folks that are coming here to look for a place. And again, 6 months later, half of the folks that I'm dealing with
Gone.
left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I lost quite a few
folks. You know what I'm saying? That leech on, and then sometimes you might get the idea, well, everybody else is leaving. I'm going to leave. I'm going to travel. You know, so your plans change and all of that stuff. So really depends on what your short-term and long-term goals are.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
My thing is the communication barrier. As I began to learn more Spanish, because I've been focused on my business so much, but I need to take Spanish classes. And I do have local friends who speak English, who live here, from here, but they lived in Miami. They lived in Los Angeles, so they know English. So my only barrier in having a fluid relationship with locals is being able to speak to them in their language. Now, a lot of them want to learn English, but they're in the learning process. I think just for me and able to develop a relationship with locals, I definitely need to be able to talk to them in their language and understand, you know, be able to communicate thoroughly, or to a certain degree where I have an understanding, we can understand each other.
Good. Last question. So in terms of like booking a trip and looking for land, if that's one of the things that we were interested in, the trips could include that. I know you help look for apartments, but since you mentioned land and maybe holding it and seeing what develops, is that part of the tour as well?
Oh, for my travel packages, no. I did put Jay Cruz in the description in the chat. You can reach out to him about land and he can take you around. I think it's best to get with a professional in that area that can take you around if you're interested in buying land. Now, Cartess may be able to offer something, but I don't. I offer resources so that you can go straight to it. Why have a middleman when you can talk straight to the people who actually build and know the laws and know the zoning laws and know areas where there's development and things like that. So that's what Jay Cruz does. And his information is in the chat. Everything is WhatsApp. He's available through WhatsApp.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I think that is it.
I do want to plug something right quick, Cartess. I didn't do the rest. I put it in the chat. The Adventures Alliance, I got some people still here. I lost some people to sign up for that. Classes and courses, Building Boundaries Brick by Brick, which is an in-depth workshop on learning to build fences and not walls. It's coming on November the 30th. Registration opens on the 10th. Of course, the business builders that opens on registrations opens on the 20th. Travel packages are in the, what you call it, the chat. I also do personal coaching services, so travel coaching, entrepreneurship, Canva coaching, digital content editing, personal development, business development. All of the links are on my website. If you can, people on here, please join my WhatsApp channel. That's also in the chat. Cartess, I sent you a message. You might want to start a channel opposed to a group, because channels is just one way. They can only react. They can't comment. And then also I do a newsletter every Tuesday for people who want to know what's going on in the city or who want to be in a newsletter. That's in the chat. And then some other information if you want to buy a Black Girl travel gear and stuff like that. Also plug, I have an interview coming up with Our Black Utopia. I don't have a date yet, but I have a follow-up. I had an interview with them, my mom and I. So that's coming up probably sometime this month. That's it.
Perfect. So I just reposted her stuff in the chat, her links and stuff that she just posted earlier. It's in the chat box. This recording will be posted in the group as well. I will take all of the resources that other people shared in the chat. I'll put them into a file. I'll email them to you, Niki, so that you can pass them on to your people as well. So listen, at the end of the day, man, if this is something you're looking to do, you just got to jump out there and do it, take a leap and just do it. I was talking to my daughter last night, when it's time to change your life, sometimes you just got to abruptly disrupt what you're dealing with and doing in the present to alter and change your life. You know what I mean? A lot of people, the biggest thing that I hear from a lot of folks is, they've been thinking about this for 2 and 3 years and have never made the trip. You know what I mean? At some point, you got to jump out of research phase and just go look. And for those of you all that are just on the fence, fearful about what might happen or fearful of what family has said, you hop on a plane. It's a 3 to 4 hour flight, depending on where you're coming from. You can be here. Just come check it out for the weekend.
You owe it to yourself. You owe yourself the opportunity to see.
You do. Just come see it. Just come check it out. A lot of folks are saying the same thing. This young lady who had a place for $380 a month, brand new place. You know what I mean? These prices that you're hearing are very real. You know what I mean? Your life can change overnight. Your expenses can be cut in half overnight. That stress can be off of your back overnight. You know what I mean? So get better on yourself.
I'm a testament to it.
Absolutely. I mean, this is why we're talking to her now. It's a year and a half. How long you been here now?
I've been here a year and a half. It'll be 2 in June.
And it's almost like you interviewed her yesterday, it seems like, but that time
that I just got here. Yep.
When you see the transformation she made from when she first got here to where she's at now. I mean, she had a business, she had friends, health is better, and the quality of life is better. And she's looking to go buy the damn land. You know what I mean?
I never thought.
This is 18 months later.
I'm not even in, right. It ain't even been 2 years yet.
2 years.
So I went from homelessness to buying land.
Literally. And hosting business.
And you gonna tell me that would happen in the States?
You know what I mean? So this is real. This is something real that can happen for you. And you know what I mean? And for those of you who have children and you decide to make this move here, once you get residency and your children get residency and they convert over to permanent residency, I think that's a great gift that you give to your child, where they have a country that they can come to anytime they want as they get older. You know what I mean? Because that permanent resident is permanent. They are a permanent resident of this country. You know what I mean? So, the difference 18 months makes is right here on the screen. I mean, it's a complete transformation, personal life, business life, and I can't even imagine what the next 18 months gonna be like for you.
Right. That's what I said. Next year, this time, what we gonna be doing?
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's amazing. And I know whatever it is gonna be good. Whatever it is, it's gonna be amazing.
And
yep.
Y'all, but you just gotta take that step and bet on yourself and just go out there. Some of these doors and opportunities won't even open and reveal themselves until you show up. You know what I mean? You gotta show up.
That's right. Do the
So,
work.
that's all I got to say. You got any closing thoughts?
I ain't got nothing. I think we got everything. I'm good. I appreciate everyone being here tonight and asking questions. It's been awesome. Awesome.
Somebody just asking, drop the link again.
Moses and Harriet. Moses and Harriet.
So that's that. So we're gonna go ahead and close this thing off.
We rocked it tonight.
Yeah, we rocked it. So the recording probably should be up in the next 24 hours. And hey, I thank you for coming on, Niki. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. We've been trying to do this for a minute.
Yes. And thank you all for watching and tuning in and hanging out with us for the last couple of hours. And I'm about to go get me some chicken.
Oh, time for some chicken. Time for some sleep for me. I'm tired.
Awesome. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Niki. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Cartess.
Night.
Peace.